first Thanksgiving, but this is the year that we typically go up to my dad's side. My grandma and my aunt on my mom's side don't have anyone, like, don't have anybody else. So we just stay home and then go up there after.
Hey, can I ask you one quick favor?
Yeah.
Can you take the hat off? I was going to bring mine.
Yeah, no worries. That's something that I was thinking of working.
Okay, we're right. We got cameras right on either side.
We're about to like actually hit the camera.
No. Oh, but they're working. They tested it.
Yeah.
Just a slideshow before we do this. It's in the 50s. I think it's high 40s, low 50s. You know what? I should check my phone. Bothwell, he's got to be a beast.
Yeah. And Vanchek. They had to say, they had to. Yeah. I know. I trained him this year. I was like, dude, you are a freak. I don't see why not.
So you guys set up right back here.
Mr. Fisher.
I'll get you a couple chairs.
Mr. Fisher.
See any chairs around? I'm going to have these ones up here, but I want to get some chairs.
Mr. Fisher. going to keep on.
in the last 4 minutes. Good to see how you doing? Thanks for doing this. At 4 minutes, we're running the sportsmanship thing for Kyle. The only way we can run that to that board is to also run it on our program. Don't plan. You're not going to be talking through that. It's only over ambient sound because we couldn't.
Yeah, that's fine.
But yes, so leave a mic.
We have both announcers. They can talk.
Both announcers can talk on the field. They're SCI. But right after that 30-second CIAC sportsmanship thing, you're just basically going to be muted, and then we'll have just the ambient mic. Okay. Then the ambient mic will be off, and then we're going to, for 15 seconds, buffer between. So just do nothing, and then we're going to play the Portland Cold Open in the stadium and on the broadcast. No, it's being played once in the same time, in sync. You're going to hear it here, so you need to have. I'm going to have the mic out, otherwise it's going to echo because it's going to put it out over the broadcast automatically. We don't want it to be back; it'll be a total echo. We're going to go on, but then at the end of that 1 minute 16 seconds, you're going to go live. And be like, "Hello, everybody, and welcome to." And that's your open, right? Or you want to wait till after the national anthem? Right in from that, then like national anthem, and then the coin toss. So like you got to figure out when you're going to come in. I don't think you should come in before we do the sportsmanship and the cold open.
Right. That's going to happen. So the sportsmanship is going to be completely after, right?
Sportsmanship, cold open. Right after the cold open, though, we're going to go to the national anthem. I don't know if there's going to be a minute in between where you might want to come in and say, welcome everybody, we're happy to be here with you, happy Thanksgiving. We're about to get underway here at Stadium Field. And then if she's starting the national anthem, you're going to say, and we're going to listen to the national anthem. What time is it? We're live, by the way. Okay, is Ted ready? Yeah. Hi.
Okay. What about the road? So she knows, right? Yeah. All right, Maddie, Ian, ready? You ready? She can talk to me, right? Yeah. Mike? So tell her to...
My kids come, they may come. Maybe one or two. I'm not holding it. I'm not holding it for them.
Well, we're just fitting 7. We're good.
Look at that. Well, I'd love to have a kid sit next to me, but I'm not. They're in their own world. If you get another guest, take it. Take it. I'm not trying to save it.
I just think you want your cushion. Yeah, I'll sit with you.
And I'm leaving.
Shannon, when are you going? Kyle, how much time before the moment of silence? Yeah.
He's past the moment. I'd say 13 minutes.
And then she sings after that? Okay, okay.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Hey, Jay Smith, you can hear me? Thank you. Testing. Any better? Thank you.
Yo, that's good. Yeah, Pregame, Davis.
Arthur, oh my God, you're so
Yeah, Davis Step. He's the best. He's the best. Hey, how are you? Thank you for the props. It's awesome. All right. Robin. Tell Roman to look at
Rivalries are born over time, carried on through generations. In Connecticut, there's no rivalry quite like this one. Two powerhouse football programs located just a few miles apart. Blue and white versus red and black. The Wave versus the Rams. Darien versus New Canaan. This rivalry has existed since the 1920s, and for the 25th time, these teams meet on Thanksgiving Day. Home field advantage returns this year as the rivalry shifts to Darien High School. The 7-2 Rams control their own destiny, needing a win to lock up a spot in the state playoffs. Darien stands in their way. A perfect season on the line, but more importantly, bragging rights for the first time in 3 years. It's the highlight of the high school football season. It's Darien and New Canaan. Get ready, it's the Turkey Bowl. DAF Media, in conjunction with NCTV, is proud to present one of the biggest high school football games in the state of Connecticut. We are live from Stadium Field on the campus of Darien High School. It's varsity football this morning. It's Darien versus New Canaan, or New Canaan versus Darien, depending on where you're Well, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Here we are on a beautiful Thanksgiving morning. A little breezy. I am Damian Andrews. So glad you could be with us. Happy Thanksgiving. Joining me on the broadcast this morning is Ian Nicholas, former New Canaan High School football player and a former Darien captain, Matty DeAndrea, who played in this Turkey Bowl on more than one occasion. Gentlemen, welcome in.
We're expecting a good one this afternoon. The crowd is filtering in to the stadium here in Dusty.
Field on the Darien High School campus. And Ian, let me get to you first. New Canaan got off to a slow start by their standards, 2-2 out of the gate, but they are certainly on a roll and have turned things around.
Definitely, Damien. It's just like last year. They started 3-2 last year, and then they finish 8-2, and this year they hope to do the same, starting 2-2. Big losses to St. Joe's, which is arguably the most complete team in the state, and a tough 17-14 loss to Richfield. But ever since, they're 5-0. Drew Pine looks a different player in his fourth-year quarterback. The vertical passing game is on fire. And they have a new three-headed monster in the backfield with Johnny Wise, Hayden Chin, and Christian Carson. The offense looks great. They get Drew Guida back in the secondary. This team is as hot as ever at the perfect time.
And Matty DeAndrea, you played in this Turkey Bowl. Darien has lost the last two Turkey Bowls. What's going through the minds of these Blue Wave players?
Yeah, so, I mean, this game means more to these players than any game. Darien versus New Canaan, this is a historic rivalry. This is a game that these guys look forward to all year long. And essentially, since they started football back at the youth level, I mean, this is it. This is going to be an all-out showdown, all-out Big battle between two historic rivals, and I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, I think we're all excited. Obviously, as Ian mentioned, two really good quarterbacks in this game. Drew Pine from New Canaan and Peter Graham for Darien, both seniors, QB1. And let's take a look at the quarterback comparisons here, Ian, between these two.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about it, both senior starters, but completely different playing careers. Obviously, this is Drew Pine's fourth straight Turkey Bowl. He's 2-1 in a big game, and after a slow start this year, he's been on fire, 20-6 touchdown interception ratio. But talk about Peter Graham. He started this game in 2017, and he got popped. 2 interceptions early on in that one, but this year he's only thrown 2 picks all season, Damian. He's a terrific senior quarterback. His brother played here, was a great quarterback here at Darien, and Peter, he has a cannon, and he will look to rival Drew Pine today through the air. But it's windy, so it'll be interesting.
It is windy, certainly a lot different than last year where it was frigid temperatures at Boyle Stadium. Speaking of the weather, let's welcome in our 4th and 5th members of our broadcast team this morning. Head down to the field to our Ted Brennan. Ted?
And it is a terrific game here, Matt. You know, it's a lot warmer than it was last year, almost twice as warm as it was. And the wind's going to come into effect. And for a Darien team that's always relying on the vertical passing game, how do you think that's going to affect the game plan?
You know, I think it should affect the game plan slightly, but, I mean, both teams like to run.
So you want to expand on that one a little bit?
Yeah, so, I mean, both teams like to run the ball, but both teams – and both teams like to run the ball, obviously, but they're gonna take shots. They're gonna take shots down the field.
And some really talented skill players that will be on display this morning here at Stadium Field as we take a look at the skill position comparison. Zach LaPolice, Will Kirby, 2 of the real offensive studs that we'll see on display in this one. Ian, let's talk a little bit about Zach LaPolice. There's been a lot of LaPolices that have come through the New Canaan football program through the years. This is the most recent one. Let's talk about him.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy how great he's been this year for a guy who was the number 3 receiver last year behind Quentin O'Connell and Wyatt Wilson, now the number 1, and he, in my mind, is one of the most athletic players in the FCAC. As you see on the stats, folks, 789 total yards, only 47 touches, 11 touchdowns. That doesn't even include the punt return TD, Damian, and he starts on defense. He's got a pair of picks there. He's physical, he's electric, and he could burn this defense down the middle. Coach Raffone is probably having nightmares about what he can do, and as you mentioned, Alex LaPolice. Hopefully we can get an interview with him later today, the Harvard football player, a great player here as well.
And Matty DeAndrea, let's talk a little bit about Will Kirby. Obviously it is windy today, as Ted Brennan alluded to on the sideline. Kirby could really be a factor in this game, and the running game could be a focus for the Blue Wave.
Definitely. They're going to try to feed Will Kirby the ball. He's a great athlete, great talent, and 125 touches throughout the course of the season. Clearly, they want to get him involved. They want to get him involved early, and they want to set the precedent that they're going to run the ball right down your throat.
We heard from our very own Ted Brennan. Let's head back down onto the field where Austin Platt from NCTV is standing by. Austin?
Nothing, no one's injured, everyone will be starting. The elements will play a big factor in this one, but the Rams are loaded in running backs as junior Johnny Wise has slotted perfectly in the #1 running back after a career year. Also expect to see juniors Christian Carson and Hayden Chin make an appearance. I talked with Coach Marinelli yesterday. He was confident. You could even see Drew Guida, a guy who has played safety and receiver throughout the year, and even Vincent Cognetta, the big sophomore. Coach Marinelli is confident that you could see all 5 guys, as it'll be very windy today. On the defensive side, it's going to be big #1, Chris Caratu, and is tied with Ivanchik and Bothwell for 11 sacks, good for 5th in the state. Now for
School pride.
Bonding with my squad.
Overcoming challenges. In high school sports, we learn a lot from what happens on the field.
We shouldn't have to worry about what's going on in the stands.
When fans or parents throw shade at coaches, athletes,
and officials.
It's embarrassing.
For real. For real.
High school sports can be amazing.
School pride.
Bonding with my squad.
Overcoming challenges. In high school sports, we learn a lot from what happens on the field.
We shouldn't have to worry about what's going on in the stands.
When fans or parents throw shade at coaches, athletes,
and officials.
It's embarrassing.
For real.
For real.
High school sports can be amazing.
Giving us lifelong memories.
So we're asking all fans, please.
Please.
Please. Let us enjoy it.
Rivalries are born over time, carried on through generations. In Connecticut, there's no rivalry quite like this one. 2 powerhouse football programs located just a few miles apart. Blue and white versus red and black. The Wave versus the Rams. Darien versus New Canaan. This rivalry has existed since the 1920s, and for the 25th time, these teams meet on Thanksgiving Day. Home field advantage returns this year as the rivalry shifts to Darien High School. The 7-2 Rams control their own destiny, needing a win to lock up a spot in the state playoffs. Darien stands in their way. A perfect season on the line, but more importantly, bragging rights for the first time in 3 years. It's the highlight of the high school football season. It's Darien and New Canaan. Get ready. It's the Turkey Bowl.
Can I have your attention, please? At this time, now I direct your attention. You're going up to midfield, Shannon? Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I ask that you please.
We are live here at Stadium Field on the Darien High School campus, awaiting the Turkey Bowl 2019. The last time this game was held here at Darien High School was 2012, and Matty DeAndrea, you were involved in that game. It's a little extra special when it's on your home turf.
It definitely is. I remember that game like it was yesterday. You know, we hadn't won in 11 years, and we took it to them, and you know, we beat them for the first time in 11 years again.
Yeah, a special day here at Darien High School, Turkey Bowl 2019. We are having some technical difficulties this morning with our sound system and scoreboard here at Darien High School, but we hope for kickoff real soon. And let's listen to the band playing the national anthem. Nice job by the Darien High School band playing the national anthem. And we are just about ready for kickoff this morning as we take a look at the captains from both teams heading to midfield for the coin toss.
Canaan usually, Damien, likes to defer, so they would like to hopefully win this toss and give Darien and Peter Graham the chance to start. And they like to get Drew behind the ball to start the half most of the time.
So this is, as I mentioned, a collaborative broadcast for the second year in a row. NCTV and their advisor, Roman Cebulski, who do just a terrific job with their TV production in New Canaan High School, and DAF Media, and all of student volunteers from Darien High School and from New Canaan do a terrific job. And I believe New Canaan won the coin toss.
Yes, I'm sure we'll see Darien's offense out in the field to start.
So we are just about ready for kickoff here. Darien, New Canaan, and Darien. This is always a special one, and I'll tell you, from the way the weather was a year ago, it's almost balmy here. The three of us were up at the booth at Boyle Stadium, and it was downright cold.
I feel like we're in Miami right now compared to last year.
Last year was brutal, but I mean, you can't ask for a better day of weather than you have here today.
No, absolutely.
High 40s, low 50s, a little bit of a slight breeze, but it's gearing up to just to be an awesome day here at high school, at the Darien High School.
That wind, sorry, Damien, could have a huge factor. You know, I talked to Coach Marinelli yesterday. He said we're really going to have to rely on the ground game. So you're going to see a lot for Darien, Will Kirby, for the Rams, Johnny Wise, Christian Carson, Hayden Shin. Two great quarterbacks, but the run games are going to have to be big if the winds get really up there today, guys.
And New Canaan did in fact win the coin toss. They will kick off, defer to the second half. So Darien, as Matty D said, will get the ball first here. Turkey Bowl 2019 about ready to go green.
If you're a New Canaan fan, you're happy. Number 4, Drew Guida's back in the lineup. He had a broken collarbone earlier in the year, but he is back. He's a big factor to stopping Peter Graham in this offense today on the back end.
And Nick Radman will kick off for the Rams, number 98. And here we go. Sellout crowd here. Tickets went in a hurry for this one, as you would expect. The student body from both teams well represented. And we're going to have some football. And we are underway. And Michael Minikis. And he brings it out to about the 21-yard line. So Darien, the offense, comes out onto the field. We talked about the quarterbacks. Peter Graham, QB1, senior. He's committed to play at Dickinson College, where his brother Timmy is the quarterback right now.
He started this game in 2017 when at Boyle, New Canaan got the big-time win. And as only a sophomore, he struggled. He was benched before getting 46 yards and 2 interceptions. But he's a completely different player now. Great vertical thrower of the football. I'm really excited to see what he does through the elements today.
New Canaan head coach Lou Marinelli said it's one of the quickest releases he's ever seen. High praise from the longtime Rams head coach. First pass is tipped at the line of scrimmage, Matt.
Yeah, unsuccessful there. It looks like they wanted to come out throwing. I mean, there's wind out here, but clearly they're not afraid of it.
Pressure up the gut on that one from Jack Finnegan, number 2, the Rams inside linebacker and captain. He flies around. Coach Marinelli says that all the time. And on that one, they send him on the blitz, and it works perfectly for Chris Silvestri in this defense.
Here's Graham. Swings it.
Interesting, New Canaan is playing a 3-down lineman front versus Darien spread offense. We'll see if that continues throughout the course of the game.
That was a little swing pass there to Sean Gifford. Didn't get much. So it's
going to be roughly 3rd and 10.
Yep, 3rd. Graham puts it up, and a catch near the sidelines on the near side of the field, as that was Jackson Peters. And Ian Nicholas, you and I were talking about Jackson Peters before this game, a big play receiver for Darien.
I can't believe I'm going to say this as a former New Canaan player. I love Jackson Peters. At 6'2", New Canaan struggled against the bigger receivers this year, and that was just all Peters going up, good ball placement, making the grown man play on the vert.
So the drive stays alive. Here's Graham on 1st and 10, overthrown, no flag, as the intended receiver was Ryan Mulligan.
It looks like actually a flag was thrown on that play, Damien. Came out late.
We do have a flag on the play, so the hanky did in fact come out, and this is going to go against New Canaan, and it'll be a fresh set of downs for Darien.
Let's go back to that previous play. What an exceptional effort there by Jackson Peters. I mean, he went up, high point of the ball, and essentially, I mean, he mossed the defensive back.
And LaPolice is the team's best receiver for New Canaan. He plays both sides of the ball. He's been terrific all year, but he's a little undersized, and that was just all size on that one.
And here's Will Kirby around the right side, tries to cut it back up, and not much doing there. As Andrew Morse and Finnegan in on that tackle. And you mentioned Finnegan, number 2, and that is a significant number in the New Canaan High School football program.
Yes, every senior linebacker, the star senior linebacker every year inside, they rotate number 2. Last year was Ben Schneider. They just keep rotating and rotating. It's an interesting number for a linebacker, but it's a tradition here at New Canaan.
Quick pass over the middle is complete to Mulligan. Mulligan came into this game with 1 touchdown, 21 catches for 227 yards. Averaging 10 yards a catch.
And that's a good job by the Darien offense of getting the ball out of the quarterback's hands. New Canaan sent pressure right up the middle, and the quarterback was able to deliver a strike and make it a 3rd and manageable.
3rd and manageable here, 3rd and 2. Graham out of the shotgun, looking up top, far side of the field, and the intended receiver was Michael Minikis, incomplete.
Don't know if that ball came out funny or if that was just pure wind at the really bad time for Peter Graham, but that ball was nowhere close. Kind of looked like he had Lopolis beat a little bit, but New Canaan might catch a break there.
And 4th and 3, we'll see what Darien does. Looks like they're keeping the offense out.
The offense stays out on the field. You're absolutely right, Matty D. And Graham checks his wristband for the play.
Rolling the dice here, Damien.
3 receivers, left side of the field.
They try to get in with the hard count, but New Canaan stays disciplined. Good job there.
1 receiver out to the right, and bad snap. And New Canaan recovers the fumble.
That's going to be Andrew Morris, the senior linebacker, Damien, and you know who Darien center is, everyone. That is Mark Trefone, the son of head coach Rob Trefone. Again, it's a windy day. It's his first senior turkey bowl, and that one just came out funny.
And Mark's one of those players who's really developed a lot. I've been around him for a while now, and he's turned into a really good offensive lineman. Just solid in the middle for Darien.
Yeah, special teams on a game like this, it can always come down to special teams. Although that was a that wasn't a special teams play. It was a 4th down and short for Darien. And here's Drew Pine, our first time seeing him, number 10. Seems like he's been at New Canaan
forever.
This
is his 4th turkey bowl. Not many guys can say they've started in all 4.
Slow start to the season for Pine, but he has turned it on, and not much doing there for New Canaan.
That was Jackson Walsh, I'm pretty sure.
That's big old Jackson Walsh right in the middle.
Jackson Walsh with a nice play as he stops John Wise, the junior running back, number 29, who has really come on. We'll talk more about him as the game progresses. He has really come on for head coach Lou Marinelli's team.
They've needed him, and he showed up as a big play junior.
Here's Pine out of the shotgun, looking downfield, and the pass is complete, and that is a touchdown, New Canaan, as Christian Sweeney, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the New Canaan sideline fired up as the Rams strike first here on a blustery day at Stadium Field.
That was a sensational double move from Sweeney. This is his first year playing receiver. If you remember last year, he was the Rams starting running back, and this year with Johnny Wise coming on, as you mentioned, Damien, they decide, let's use his talent elsewhere. 6'3", but for a guy who hasn't played the position that much, that's a terrific route.
And that didn't take New Canaan long. 2 plays and they're in the end zone.
2 plays and they're in the end zone. So not the start Darien had hoped for, certainly.
But hey, what's a turkey bowl without a little adversity?
That's right. That's right. It is. We're just underway here. 8:50 remaining in the first quarter. The kick is up and it is good. So the extra point good. Nick Radman, the left-footed kicker. And as we take another look at this, great job by our instant replay coordinator, Braden Schenk, as Pine finds Sweeney, and Sweeney finds the end zone. Bang, bang play, as Matty D alluded to. Quick strike. Second play from scrimmage for New Canaan.
They love to get it to Christian Sweeney down the seam. This is his 4th straight game with a touchdown or more. He's got 5 touchdowns in the last 4 games. I mentioned a second ago, 6'3" target. Pine just puts it right up for him, 1v1 ball. And when you run a route like that and get yourself just a little separation when you're 6'3", that's all you need. Terrific way to start this way for the underdog New Canaan Rams.
And let's see how Darien responds.
Absolutely.
Mental mistake early. New Canaan capitalized, and now they get the ball back.
Certainly nerves playing a little bit of a role in that first drive for Darien after the nice completion to Jackson Peters.
Yeah, luckily the wind died down a little bit for the Rams drive, so Drew was able to get it out with ease while Graham struggled with the wind.
And that was Christian Sweeney, as we just saw. Minikis bobbles it, and this will be a touchback as we take a look at Christian Sweeney, who scored that first touchdown for New Canaan, as this will come out to the 20-yard line. So the Darien offense back out on the field.
And it starts with the offensive line. This is going to be a matchup to watch throughout the course of the game, that Darien offensive line versus the New Canaan defensive line.
And that Darien offensive line features Alex Wisheka, Luke Cini, Mark Trufone, Graydon Overbeck, and Carson Drake. And so here we go. Graham operating out of the shotgun once again. Trip receivers to the left, one split out to the right, and the pass is complete near side of the field to
Jackson Peters.
Jackson Peters.
He does not move like a guy at his size. He is really a player who just moves really well. They can get it out to him on those quick plays, and he can make it. Second and short, another quick screen to the other side of the field here, and they are going to get the first down just enough. Back-to-back completions for Peter Graham.
So Peter Graham, 2 completions here as we take another look. Goes far side of the field. So a first down for Darien, as the Blue Wave trying to sustain this drive after the miscue on their first drive. Pass is complete to Mulliken, and across the 40-yard line, let's call it the 41. That'll bring up second down and short for Darien.
It looks like Darien's game plan going into this game is to attack the edges. We haven't seen many runs inside. They're running the outside zone. They're throwing the quick screen to the outside, quick hitch and go.
Rams corners are a lot smaller than last year. That's a good philosophy.
Here's Graham over the middle. Pass is incomplete at around the 50-yard line, intended for Sean Gifford.
Yeah, you got to make that catch. He was pretty open. Maybe not the best ball, but really good. I mean, he just hits the turf hard, but Graham just finds a soft spot over the middle of the field. Good throw from the senior.
Third down and short for Darien. Big play coming up here for the Wave. Trip receivers to the left. They keep it on the ground and give it to Kirby. He picks up the first down and then some across the 50-yard line to about the 46. So Will Kirby, number 21, we talked earlier. We thought he might be a factor in this one, and he picks up some big-time yardage right there on that run.
3rd and 3. Darien offense coordinator said, you know what, we're going to run the ball, we're going to pick this up, and we're going to move the chains.
And Graham throws to the near side of the field. We've got a whistle. Pass was complete to Jackson Peters.
Another quick screen to the outside. They've had some success with that play earlier.
Yeah, with the wind, being unpredictable and those deep shots not falling early. Keep it conservative now. Don't turn the ball over again and just try to, slice and dice the Rams with these quick completions.
And it's a way for Darien to mitigate the pressure by New Canaan's defense.
Graham out to Kirby.
It looks like they're bringing pressure here early. And so, what you're seeing here is Darien's trying to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands and, give it to some of their playmakers.
Damian Andrew, joined by Ian Nicholas and Matt DeAndrea. Turkey Bowl 2019, Darien, New Canaan. And we'll get to our production crew as this broadcast progresses. Here's Graham out of the shotgun. Trip receivers to the left. Graham looking near sideline, puts it up, and it's picked off.
That's going to be Braden Sweeney, the junior outside linebacker in coverage. First career interception for him.
So Sweeney with the interception. Take another look.
And that's a hard throw. He's on the opposite hash, trying to throw across his body back to this sideline. I mean, not many quarterbacks can make that throw.
And the Sweeneys are just taking over. The twin junior brothers, Christian Sweeney with the touchdown on the first drive, and Braden Sweeney, one of the Rams' leading tacklers, gets that one, number 91, with a huge play. And the Rams, 2 outside linebackers, Chris Caratu, who made a tackle a second ago. He's the pass rushing guy, but Braden is the cover guy, and he makes a great play there.
And a nice little
jet sweep to Lapo. They run that play a lot, usually once or twice a game. LaPolice has some of the best acceleration in the FCAC, averaging nearly 20 yards a grab, Damien. He can just turn something that doesn't really look like a whole lot there into a big-time play. But Darien's seen that one plenty of times on film. They knew it was coming. Good play from the terrific Darien linebacking core.
And that's all about contain. Outside linebacker set the edge and tried to force that back inside. Yeah, he turned up, but you know there was some trail players for Darien to make that play.
Give up the gut to John Wise, I believe, and it goes really nowhere fast. John, he's had a terrific year. Damien, you mentioned him earlier. Over 500 yards, 11 rushing touchdowns, a pair of 4 touchdown games for Johnny this year as a junior after not playing much last year. And Hayden Shin's going to check in right now. The Rams are doing more of a committee approach. Shin's more of a pass-catching back, and he's made some big-time plays out of the backfield this year. 3rd and long, and they could look to him.
So 2 turnovers by Darien early. And New Canaan as Pine completes that pass to number 16, Christian Sweeney, who had the touchdown. As we take another look at this, great job by our camera 2 operator, Davis Depp. And
it's like New Canaan's going to go for it on their own side of the field.
Well, it's still 3rd down, so not surprised there.
3rd down here. Here is Pine out of the shotgun. Trip receivers, left side of the field. And Pine keeps it himself, and he picks up the 1st down. And that is the thing about Drew Pine, as Darien head coach Rob Trefone talked about this leading up to this game. The thing about Pine, he's such a dual threat. He can throw the ball, and he can get it done with his legs. And Coach Trefone concerned about that as they schemed all week.
And that's a smart play on 3rd and short. You add an extra blocker by having the quarterback run the ball himself.
Had to give to Christian Carson up the gut, a very physical runner, about 11 yards, back-to-back 1st downs for the Rams.
Christian Carson with 2 touchdowns this season, 27 carries for 128 yards, and they will sprinkle him in. Wise has been the primary back, but Shin and Carson get sprinkled in. Some new wrinkles for New Canaan.
They really weren't early in the year, but Johnny missed the game with an ankle injury, and both of them had over 90 yards in the game they missed. They're like, why not? We had 3 great runners. Let's get them all involved, as he gets the 2nd straight carry there for 5 yards.
So Carson.
That's a good run on 1st down. The key to this game is to win on 1st down, and that's what New Canaan just did there.
Yeah, we've seen Darien early. They've backed themselves into some 3rd and longs that with the wind, it's been hard to get themselves out of those situations. Meanwhile, New Canaan started strong.
The wind picking up a little bit. 2nd down. Not much doing there for Wise, the junior.
Wise has been lifting with the varsity team since 8th grade. He's a huge runner, really physical, but you know, this is one of the best front 7s in the state. Darien always, Sam Wilson, you know, John Henry. This is a terrific front 7, and obviously they've prioritized in shutting him down.
Well, keep an eye on Will Bothwell and David Ivanchek.
As Drew Pine keeps it and gets a 2nd 1st down on the drive with his legs.
And here, as we take another look at that, the tackle made by James Morrissey, the senior. He had 23 tackles, 5 sacks coming into this game. And New Canaan in the white, moving from left to right on your screen. Darien in the black, moving from right to left. And right now the Rams on the move. Here's Pine. They keep it on the ground with Wise, and Wise breaks a couple of tacklers. And he takes it inside the 15-yard line as New Canaan on the move once again. As we take another look at this, the handoff to Wise finds a hole, and then he sheds a tackler.
That's actually going to be Christian Carson again.
I'm sorry,
it's really
Carson.
Yeah, I don't blame you because you would think Wise is the guy, but Carson's come on strong. You know, you need a tough physical runner to make these kinds of plays up against the front seven that's really good at tackling and getting to the ball. They're going with the big physical Christian Carson.
La Police in motion. Pine keeps it himself, and that's a New Canaan touchdown as he lunges into the end zone. And the Rams, their second score of the first quarter.
Talking to Coach Marinelli yesterday, I said, you know, Drew's getting a lot more designed runs. Is that going to be a part of the game plan tomorrow? He said it will. And look at that. That's what, the fourth designed run on the drive. They're using the Notre Dame commit, not just through the air, but you got to realize this is one of his last big games here. Take full advantage of his skill set. He's putting his body on the line. That's rushing touchdown number 7.
Here's Radman. The extra point attempt is up, and it is good, and it is 14-0 as we take another look at the Drew Pine touchdown and the Darien sideline. Silence. Not at all what they were expecting on this Thanksgiving morning 2019 as New Canaan has come into Stadium Field with a purpose, and they are up 14-0 as we take a look. Drew Pine, 6'2", 190-pound senior. He has committed to Notre Dame, and that seems like he did that a long time ago.
Yes. You know, this is the guy who the expectations coming to the high school when you get an offer from Alabama before you even step on your high school football field. The pressure is through the roof. Well, what has he done for New Canaan? 2 state championship appearances, a state championship win in his freshman year, and after the slow start this year, when everyone is downing him for having that rough start to the year, what does he do? Unfazed. He's taking his team on his shoulders and on his legs on this one, and he's taking advantage. I want to talk to you, Matt. You know, you've been here before as a player, a varsity captain. What do you tell the guys down 14-0 in a game like this?
You know, I mean, obviously New Canaan came out hot, but Darien shouldn't worry. It's early. It's the Turkey Bowl. There's going to be more scores to come, and, you know, they just have to stick to the game plan and execute. That's really what it comes down to.
And a nice return by Minikis across the 25-yard line to about the 27. So Darien's offense comes back out onto the field for the third time this quarter. And I'm sure, as you mentioned, Matt, words have been spoken on the sideline to kind of get this offense going. 2 costly turnovers have led to New Canaan touchdowns as we take a look at head coach Rob Trefone there in the white jacket. There's a look at the New Canaan sideline. Great work by our camera crew and a great crowd here this morning at Stadium Field.
Darien coming out to with trips to the left, spreading New Canaan out. We'll see if they stick to the run game, and that they do.
And they give it to Kirby, and he finds some running room before he is taken down by La Police. So,
and that's what Darien needs to keep doing. They have to stick to the run game. They can't give up on that. I mean, that sets the stage for the rest of the game. Once they can establish a run, now they can go and attack downfield.
Looking over the middle for Jackson Peters, and great coverage by Zach LaPolice and Drew Guida. Guida doesn't have a pick this year after getting 6 last year, but defenses know not to test him, and I think Peters got a little scared there. The big hit, couldn't reel in that one over the middle.
And so it's 2:07 left in the first quarter. You are watching the Turkey Bowl between New Canaan and Darien, or Darien and New Canaan, whatever you prefer, on DAF Media and NCTV.
That's a good job by New Canaan there. Coming out, getting penetration, and stopping that play in the backfield for a short gain.
And good to see Matt Ruggione, number 76, one of the Rams' 5 captains, had a major knee injury in last year's game in the Turkey Bowl. And, you know, there were questions, would he be able to come back for a full year this year? He has, and he's right back in the game. Peter Graham with the
Peters
laser.
Wow. With a big catch.
What a throw and a catch over his shoulder. It didn't look like he had a chance on that ball, but he came down with it.
And that brings the Darien faithful to its feet. There we go. Jackson Peters, 6'2", 180 pounds. Big receiver for the Blue Wave. Graham, perfect ball downfield, and Peters hauls it in.
You cannot afford to put him in one-on-one coverage. You need an over-the-top help on that one.
We've got a flag on the field. The pass complete.
It looks like this is going to be holding on Darien.
And good news is, Peter Graham with that absolute laser, our own Ted Brennan at the end of a quarter will hopefully get an interview with his brother and former Darien great Ted Graham.
Timmy Graham,
a great quarterback here at the end of a quarter. Maybe we can talk about that great play with him and see what he saw on that one where his brother just had an absolute laser. Darien's going to move back here a few yards. Looks like a hold on the screen pass they were trying to set up.
The pass was complete to Aaron Sears, but the penalty.
But that just goes to show you what one play can do to a team. Before that, the stadium was
dead silent.
Yeah, exactly. Dead silent. That one long pass, it just rejuvenated this this Blue Wave crowd.
Kirby tries to get outside, but he is knocked out of bounds by Guida.
And also a really great pursuit angle from Braden Sweeney. He had to pick a moment ago. That's not a play that's going to show up on the stat sheet.
Nope.
But as an outside linebacker, sometimes you just have to do your job. And when you do it, players like Drew Guida get free tackles because Kirby, an excellent runner everywhere in the field, just had nowhere to go on the outside run. You also have to like how they're keeping Will Kirby involved. Over 800 yards on the year. And over nearly 600 on the ground. Just because you're down 2 scores doesn't mean you eliminate the running game. Smart to keep him involved and warm.
Kirby, 9 touchdowns coming into this one, averaging 5.4 yards a carry. They swing it out to Kirby out of the backfield, and he takes it across the 20-yard line. So Darien now on the move inside the red zone. Another first down for the Blue Wave.
And that's a great play call by Darien coaching staff. Give a little flare route out of the backfield, and they picked up a good chunk of yards there on second down.
Yeah, Kirby's also great as a receiver. He's 4th on his team in yards through the air. That's got to be a missed assignment. They run this play a lot, Darien, that is. And whoever is probably one of the inside backers who just couldn't get there in time because Kirby's just such a great athlete out of the backfield. And it looks like they're going to either call a timeout or that's the end of quarter number 1.
And the quarter is about to come to its conclusion.
Actually, it is going to be a timeout.
It is going to be a timeout. 9 seconds as we take a look at the New Canaan sideline there, the huddle. Again, this is a collaborative broadcast between NCTV and DAF Media for the 2nd year in a row. And for those of you watching who are not familiar with either organization, all student volunteers from Darien and New Canaan and doing a tremendous job bringing you the sights and sounds of this Turkey Bowl 2019. NCTV is led by Roman Sobolski, and he does a terrific job with his New Canaan students, and DAF Media in its 3rd year of existence, all student volunteers from Darien High School. So 9 seconds remaining in the first quarter as we take a look at Darien head coach Rob Trifone in that huddle, talking things over with his offense, and 3rd down for Darien.
And if I were to guess, this is 4 down territory.
Absolutely.
Especially with the wind and a junior kicker, you can't afford to go for a field goal here. It's touchdown or bust down 2 scores early.
And they keep it on the ground with Kirby. Doesn't get much, picks up a couple, and that will do it for the first quarter. The first quarter comes to an end, and we are going to go down onto the field where our Ted Brennan is standing by with Timmy Graham. Ted. So no audio there, sorry about that, but you saw Timmy Graham, who a big part of this New Canaan High School football program, played in this Turkey Bowl on a number of occasions. He is the starting quarterback now at Dickinson College in Pennsylvania. So we're at the end of the first quarter. about ready to start quarter number 2. And Darien with the football, and they're going to go for it here on 4th down.
I'm pretty surprised. I thought the field was going to flip at the end of the quarter.
Yeah, actually.
It should have.
We have, was that a timeout?
Oh, it was a timeout.
It was a timeout. And that's going to be
the clock reads 0, though.
Motion on Darien, so a Blue Wave penalty. And there is no time on the scoreboard right now.
Well, they're going to get a false start. So not sure what the quarter situation is, but that will back them up 5 yards regardless of what quarter it is and make it a more difficult 4th and around 11.
They have not flipped fields here, which is very confusing. 12 minutes are up on the scoreboard. 4th down here and long. They give it to Kirby, and he is going to be well short of a first down as Morse, among others.
Matt, you're shaking your head. What do you think of that play call?
Just an interesting play call there. I get it. It's 4th and 10. You don't want to make a mistake, but you've been throwing the ball all day. Might as well go for it again on 4th and 10.
Here's Kirby, and being pursued there.
I mean, I love getting Will Kirby involved as much as possible, but 4th and 10 is not a running down. And especially outside a run, New Canaan, as I mentioned, Braden Sweeney, good contain, doesn't make sure he gets the outside leverage. Put some more trust in your quarterback. You know, this is a guy who's been the backup for 2 years. He got some playing time in this game 2 years ago, and he's had a terrific year this year. Put the ball in his hands in the red zone. He's had some big plays today, and let him rip it.
So it is now, as you can see, it's the start of the first quarter, or second quarter rather. 14-0 New Canaan, and the Rams with the football. Running play on 1st down, as that was Wise, John Wise with the carry. Picked up a couple.
The Rams are lucky that Christian Carson's had a good game because Johnny has gotten off to a bit of a slow start. Not a whole lot of running room behind this much improved O-line.
2nd down for New Canaan, and Pine keeps it himself, takes it up the middle. I don't know if he has the first down, depend on the spot, close to a Rams first down.
And that's a good read by Drew Pine there. That play, it's designed where Drew Pine can either give it off to the running back or he can take it himself.
Yep.
He saw the defensive back or defensive end expand with that running back, and he said, I'm going to pull it and take it himself, and he picked up the first down for New Canaan.
These are plays I haven't seen before, sorry, Damien, during the year. New Canaan's busting out the really nice plays right now that Darien has not seen on film yet.
And there's Wise again, and that is a gain of a couple.
It's going to be Christian Carson, the power back. They bring him in, and he gets the first down. Another good play for the junior.
2nd down and 7 for New Canaan.
Very interesting that offensive coordinator Dan Farina is putting the trust in Carson, the 4th leading rusher, who had just 128 yards, and as you mentioned, Damien, 2 rushing touchdowns heading into this game, but he's really been the bell cow right now. He's been extremely productive. But the O-line has been really good as well. You mentioned the O-line sets the tone, Matt, and there, New Canaan's offensive line's getting it done up front.
And here is Carson again.
Really good second-level tackle there. Carson got, again, nice running room, good push from the line, but he just got slammed backwards, as you see on the instant replay. Really good tackle from Darien.
And this is a really big play. 3rd and short. Darien needs to get themselves off the field.
Yep.
Get a stop here and let their offense come back out.
And they're bringing in some kind of jumbo package because I see Chris Caratu, the outside linebacker, and Ethan Shallon, the defensive end, in the game. So expect some kind of big-time run here as they're going goal line package.
And I don't think they got it. Pine kept it himself.
Let's see where the official marks his fall. He's gonna
Yeah, it'll depend on the spot here.
No,
and it is a first down.
Yep, he has it.
So a big play for New Canaan, and they do get the first down, keep the drive alive, up 14-0 here early in the second quarter. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. On a beautiful, albeit a little windy and slightly chilly, but a beautiful day here in Darien, Connecticut.
And Pine's going to keep it up the gut again.
Pine picks up a couple on first down, so that we always we always hear those three letters RPO, right? Run pass option.
It's the RPO. It's just a killer of a play.
Here's La Police around the left side.
Yeah, it's the biggest play in football now, and New Canaan's offense is really built off of it. We haven't seen a whole lot of RPO passes from New Canaan today, but that's really what the passing game is built off of here. Quick hitches, quick outs off the run.
Absolutely, they give you that look, yeah.
Darien, same thing I was going to mention earlier. They ran a quick hitch to Peters. Easy completions, catches the defense off guard. That's just football in 2019. Get your quarterback in a rhythm and catch defenses off guard. Give up the gut. And Carson with the first down run on third down. Another big conversion for the junior running back.
So it's interesting. It seems that New Canaan's coming out, and they want to come out in trips. Either starting 2-by-2 and motion over to the trip side, or they're going to come out in trips and run the ball. So it's interesting, the New Canaan game plan here against the Darien defense.
And they're putting a lot of faith in the O-linemen, a lot of pulling plays, and that's really hard to do up against the big front. Timing has to be key on those pulls, and they're getting really big lanes. They're spreading the field with the trips formation. It's working to perfection right now.
So here we go. First down. And it's Pine again. So New Canaan having some success using their quarterback to run the football as we take another look at this.
I don't think Drew Pine's broken this many tackles in his career. I mean, he's a physical runner, but it's crazy how they're using him today. This is a Drew we really haven't seen before, and Darien is shocked. They don't know how to guard it because they haven't seen these kinds of plays from New Canaan a lot this year.
Pine finally brought down by Connor O'Malley, who came into this ball game with 17 tackles on the season, the junior. There's Pine out of the shotgun on second down. They keep it on the ground with Carson, and he picks up a first down. So Christian Carson having himself a turkey bowl here in the first half of this one, number 44.
And there's that RPO fake. You see Pine executes it really well. Looks like it could be a fake pass. Instead, his fake throwing motion throws the defense off guard. Carson gets a really great lane behind the left side of the O-line, anchored by the big Willie Perrone and the sophomore left tackle, Ned Brady.
And here's Carson again. And that time, nothing doing as Big Jackson Walsh.
Darien decided that they're going to stop the run. They came out on that last play. They had 5 down linemen, something we haven't seen throughout the course of this game so far.
And it's not the lack of size they're hurting him. Darien's got the players size-wise to match up with New Canaan's O-line. It's just New Canaan fundamentally is winning the battle, winning in the trenches.
It's second down here.
I mean, you almost never see that. New Canaan comes out and spread, and Darien still keeps the 5 down linemen, which just really shows you that they're dedicated to stopping the run.
Here's Wise across the 25-yard line. And this New Canaan offense on the move again as Wise heads to the sideline. Great job by our production crew from NCTV and DAF Media. We're going to get to all of their names in a bit.
That's a great play call. 5 down linemen, run the ball to the outside when the defense is either expecting something on the inside or maybe a pass. Just keep faith in the running game. It hasn't slowed down. Make the game easier for Drew. Don't put it on his shoulders. You got 3 good backs. Use them all.
Here's Hayden Shin now.
Yep.
And Pine looking near side of the field. Pass is complete to La Police. He breaks a tackle, and he's finally pushed out of bounds by Sam Wilson, the senior linebacker who had just a monster season. Wilson heading to Middlebury, but another big play by New Canaan as La Police sheds the initial tackle and is finally brought down out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. So it is 1st and goal for New Canaan as the Rams are on the move.
And in order for Darien to win this game, they have to.
And that's an interception for Darien.
What a
as
play.
Sam Wilson steps in and makes a big-time pick as Wilson, the senior, stepping up at a big moment as Darien, New Canaan on the move. How about this?
Huge,
They
Damien.
fake the run again, and the intended receiver
was Christian Sweeney.
Was
who's
Sweeney
the
who
big
had that
game.
touchdown, yeah.
You know, you look at Sam Wilson's size, and I'm thinking, how big is this guy? He's not big at all, but that's the key. He can run like a safety, like a corner, kind of like Jack Finnegan on New Canaan. He can one-on-one cover very easily. He just wins that battle physically. Not the best ball from Pine. He tries to lead Sweeney over the middle and gets a little carried away. Wilson now with the lead on interceptions for Darien with 4 on the year.
So Darien operating deep in their own end, and Wilson breaks a tackle, and he heads outside across the 30, tries to cut it back across the 40, across midfield, shedding tacklers, and he's finally brought down.
And I was just about to say, remember that play, Damien. That play might change the outcome of the game.
You know, Damien, you mentioned to me before the game, oh yeah, he might spell Will Kirby. I'm like, he can? Oh, he can. Look at this stiff arm. Drew Guida is one of the best tacklers in the FCAC. You don't see that happen to a player like him.
And Sam Wilson just said, get off me. I'm running this ball, and I'm going to take it down and score here.
Sam Wilson, 2 big-time plays, one on the defensive end, one on the offensive end. Big pickup, and Darien now operating in New Canaan territory. Ball at around the 31-yard line.
It's going to be 2nd and 1 after a Will Kirby run.
Here's Graham looking across midfield, and the pass incomplete. It was intended for Michael Minikis.
You cannot miss that shot. That's a good route, solid ball, 1v1 coverage with Dean Ciencio, and Ciencio's lucky. It's just slightly overthrown.
But I like the play call there, though.
Yeah.
2nd and short. You still have another down if you don't get it, and if you don't convert. So take a shot. Why not?
And as you mentioned, it's most likely 4-down territory, too, so you can take that shot and still have 2 more chances.
They give it to Kirby, and he goes nowhere.
That's Ethan Shallon on the tackle. Really great in run support this year, and he just decks him low. That's where you got to get Will Kirby. He's got powerful legs, and he just stops him right in his tracks. At the loss of a yard, probably.
You can hear through our microphones the wind.
This is a big play here for Darien.
4th down and about a yard or 2, and Wilson.
New Canaan's pointing, but they didn't get it. Coach Silvestri's amped. Let's see what the official spot is. And it is going to go the other way.
I believe it was a fumble.
Not sure.
It was
who
hard to
forced
see
that
from
one.
our angle, but needless to say, New Canaan will take over, and their offense coming back out onto the field.
You have to give credit to Coach Silvestri. You know, I'm talking to Coach Marinelli, nothing but praise from the former Gatorade Player of the Year here in Connecticut as a running back, but now the defensive coordinator for the last decade. New Canaan's defense was a major question mark heading into this game, and they have answered the call time and time again.
And New Canaan keeps it on the ground as we are under 4 minutes left in the first half. This first half just speeding by. A lot of run plays.
It's a fast-paced game. You know, there's so many moments that I'm just blanking on right now because there's been no break in between. In Darien, they're just bleeding out right now. They need to stop it. You know, they have the big plays back-to-back, but then they just lose it. You know, it's a momentum battle, and New Canaan's owned it for most of this one, despite the splash plays from Darien here and there. Matt, they've remained unfazed. New Canaan is, even though that Sam Wilson pick and then the Sam Wilson run, it didn't matter.
And it just goes back to what I said earlier. It's a battle of the lines, and New Canaan's winning that battle right now.
Here's Pine out of the shotgun. Hands off to La Police. La Police has a hole, and he's brought down.
Man, is La Police running hard here. He clearly wants it.
By O'Malley. O'Malley, number 7, with the tackle as we take another look at this La Police run. Big hole right there, and he's finally brought down by Connor O'Malley.
At just 5'10", 175, he's an extremely physical guy. You saw him breaking the tackle earlier in the red zone before the pick. He's not afraid to get dirty. He has a punt return touchdown. He broke like 5 tackles on that one up against Staples. He's a great player and a great runner with the ball in his hands.
Second down and 6.
Clock continues to roll. Just over 2.5 minutes left in the half.
Pine keeps it himself. Stiff arm. Tries to bounce outside, and he does. Gets outside. Takes it across the 40-yard line before he is pushed out of bounds. So New Canaan's offense right now getting a lot out of the legs of Drew Pine.
Yeah, and that play is that's
we do
coming
have
back
a flag.
Right there.
Yeah, it's coming back.
Clear block in the back there.
It's a young offensive line. Only one player from last year's starting O-line, Willie Perrone, who's only a part-time starter. That's a block. It's easily a block in the back on Zach LaPolice, trying to free room for Drew. And Zach's a really good blocker for his size. Really physical, a little overly physical on that one. But if you're a receiver blocking, rather to see you over blocking than under blocking.
Yep. I think La Police was trying to get away with that one.
Yeah, he knew it. You kind of know when you just shove a guy to the ground like that in the open field, you kind of know it's probably going back.
Second and long for New Canaan. Pine, and he is tripped up by Michael Minikis, who steps up and stops Pine.
Talk about putting your body on the line. Pine is just sliding is not in his vocabulary this morning. He's just going for it. And it's in the Rams offensive production, it shows, as it's going to be a timeout, and we're going to send it hopefully down the field.
We've got a timeout on the field, and we are going to send it down to the sideline where Ted Brennan is standing by with Timmy Graham. Ted?
I'm here with Darien QB and Dickinson QB Tim Graham. Tim, your brother's playing in this game. How special is that for you and your family?
It's special. Thanksgiving morning is a special occasion for our family. Hopefully we get a little points on the board right now, but it's a big day for us.
Former Darien QB yourself, how special was it for you to start in this game?
Oh, it was absolutely amazing. Back when I was there, we got 2 Turkey Bowl wins, which was awesome in front of so many people. It's actually so much fun.
Tim, thank you. Back to you boys in the booth.
All right, thanks, Ted. Nice job. Great seeing Timmy Graham, one of the great quarterbacks in the history of this Darien program, certainly the recent history of the program. Third down here for New Canaan. Pine looking downfield and nearly brought down. And he throws it up, and it is incomplete. Nearly brought down by David Ivanchik, the sophomore. Comes around the right side there, nearly takes him down. Let's take another look at this, Matt.
Yeah, it's an interesting matchup. Matt, you can break down that beautiful move from Ivanchik. But it's a sophomore versus sophomore matchup. It's Ned Brady versus Ivanchik, who's got 11 sacks this year. And Darien hasn't been able to put the pressure on Drew today. There, really nice move to the outside, beating Ned Brady. But Drew able to get out of it, nearly gets that one where it needs to go for Christian Sweeney.
Now, Ivanchik, 32 tackles on the year as a sophomore. Terrific player, number 33. So New Canaan will punt for the first time in the game.
He took the words right out of my mouth, Damian.
And it's Radman, the left-footed punter, and he gets a bounce, a New Canaan bounce, and it rolls inside the 35-yard line. So Darien, it's quite simple, has less than 2 minutes.
Darien, first
And you got to remember who gets the ball at halftime. The red hot, or not red hot right now, but really the productive Drew Pine New Canaan offense. Darien has to execute a masterful 2-minute drill here. Get yourself on the board. You have the vertical playmakers to make it happen.
The ball is spotted at the Darien 38-yard line. The offense comes back out onto the field. Darien in the black uniforms with the Darien blue numbers. 14-0 New Canaan here, under 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Graham looking downfield, far side, puts it up for Sean Gifford, overthrown. He had him wide open, just overthrew it a touch.
If they connect on that, that was going to the house.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a touchdown.
And Sean Gifford on the year, 396 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's a good player. Just left wide open, as they said, multiple guys. They run a lot of seam routes here in Darien, and it works a lot of the time. But with the wind, Graham hasn't dealt with a whole lot of weather adversity this year, and it gets the best of him.
2nd down and 10. Here's Graham over the middle. Pass is complete across the 50-yard line. Sean Gifford, he makes a nice catch before he is tripped up by Harrison Apelt. And Apelt with a nice tackle there, or else Gifford might be gone.
Yes, Apelt, the junior, and with the injuries to Drew Guida and Chris Canad, who's out for the year earlier in the season, he had to get playing time. He's getting better and better every week.
Darien in New Canaan territory. Graham throws it up and overthrows number 2, Austin Damel.
And Damel hasn't gotten a whole lot of reps this year at wide receiver, more of a defensive back after playing a lot of receiver last year. Again, that's another tough ball. Outside the numbers, pushing the sideline for a first-year starter in the wind. You know, I like how you have to take a shot here, but you have 1:25 left. You know, it's not like you have seconds left on the clock.
2nd down here for Darien. Here's Graham looking downfield, steps up, across the middle, nearly picked off. Threw it into coverage, and it's nearly picked off by Jack Finnegan. As we take another look, Gifford, the intended receiver.
I think he had a read open down the field. He probably should have hit. They run a lot of routes over the middle of the field, like to hit the Rams defense at the same spot at multiple levels. And that's a tough throw over the middle of the field. Good coverage from Finnegan.
Trip receivers wide right. They swing it to Kirby. He catches it, and he's got himself a first down. So a big 3rd down play for Darien as Will Kirby picks up some much-needed real estate.
It's a great catch. It was really far in front of them. But they have good chemistry. Graham and Kirby out of the backfield. He knows where to lead him up the field to get that first down.
Here's Graham on 1st down. Far side of the field, puts it up there, and the intended receiver was Jackson Peters. He was well covered.
Check 2, check.
Darien receiver just needs to
check
keep running
1,
there.
2.
New Canaan defensive back, he put his hands on. If he made an effort for that ball, it could be a possible pass interference call.
Yeah. It looked like it started as a post route for Peters trying to take advantage of the undersized Dean Ciencio. But
yeah.
It was good coverage, so Graham decided to give it a 1v1 shot for his big man. Smart decision, but as you mentioned, Matt, he's got to go up for that ball. Try to draw a penalty, at least. Deep shot here. It's underthrown looking down the field. Drew Guida in coverage. Good play on Aaron Sears, the senior wideout. Actually, that's going to be Sean Gifford,
the receiver for Darien. I want to give a personal shout out to my brother and his family down in Baltimore, Maryland, watching this live stream. Just texted me. Glad to see my nephews, Jack and Lance, and my sister-in-law tuning in to this one.
Check 1, 2, check
Happy
1, 2,
Thanksgiving.
Best
check 1, 2.
in the States going international.
No question. And incomplete pass on 3rd down. We've got a flag on the play. So it's a false start on Darien on 3rd down.
Yeah, they were expecting the blitz on that one. That is the Darien O-line. And when you're an O-lineman and you know the heat is coming, you want to get that extra second to take advantage. They bring in Will McKay and Corey Pickering on defense, some extra sub rushers with speed, and Darien O-line has not been extremely disciplined today, and they make another miscue there. And here's Will Kirby on the run. He ran into Peter Graham when he got the handoff, and he's going to get wrapped up on the outside run after a gain of 1 or 2.
You are watching.
It's going to set up a 4th and 8 with 39 seconds left here. Again, a huge play in this one. You see Kirby running outside, jump cuts nice, but Jack Finnegan's trailing all over him. And on 4th and 8 here, you got some extra time right now. If you're Coach Raffone and the offensive coordinator for Darien, Matt, what kind of play are you drawing up to catch New Canaan's D off guard?
I just like a quick throw. Have the quarterback take a one-step drop and get that ball out of his hands early. New Canaan's going to bring pressure here. I'll be surprised if they didn't. So the smart play would be just to have a quick throw, quick slants, quick out, something just to get the ball out of his hands and let the playmakers do the rest.
Yeah, this is a great receiving core after the catch. They have a lot of good guys who are shifty guys. Jackson Peters can make a move, and so can guys like Gifford and Minikis. So give them some space. New Canaan's defense has played off all game as they are looking to prevent the deep shot. So just quick completion, as you mentioned. Let your guys get some rack, hopefully pick up a crucial first down here.
There we go, big play. 4th down for Darien. Graham over the middle, and it's nearly picked off. Pass is incomplete. And
pretty sure that's Walker
Swindell.
And a Darien receiver just tripped. Not sure who it was. It was Jackson Peters. You see him adjusting his socks on that one. I don't know what happened. He was wide open over the middle of the field, and he just hit the deck. And that's a huge, you can't control that one. Just gets wrapped up by the turf monster. And that would have been an easy completion on a first down. Peters was looking that way, didn't really have a choice once he was locked on. And he just had to force that one in there.
So New Canaan takes over on downs here with 32 seconds remaining in the first half.
There's plenty of time left for New Canaan to march down the field and at least get a try at a field goal, if not more.
Nick Radman's hit from 37 yards out this year, but they're not going to take any risks.
Nope.
They have an unexpected 14-0 lead right now, and they're not going to risk it. They're going to go into halftime, if not elated, but extremely content with the kind of game they're having on Darien's turf.
Well, Darien's 37-game home winning streak on the line here this morning on Thanksgiving Day. This is the first time the Turkey Bowl has been played here at Stadium Field since 2012. They've played at Dunning Field and they've played at Boyle Stadium a handful of times over the last several years. So the Turkey Bowl back here at Darien High School, a great crowd. The pep band is out and stands brought in. And we are going to go down onto the field here in just a moment. As I was about to say, stands brought out onto the field for this one. Sold out crowd. And we are going to go down onto the field in just a moment as Austin Platt has New Canaan head coach Lou Marinelli. Austin?
I'm here with Coach Marinelli. Coach, you can see behind us it's 14-0. Your defense has caused 3 turnovers. You scored off of 2 of them. What's been the difference for the defense so far?
Well, I think the guys put together a great plan, and I think our kids are executing the plan. It's a lot of football to go. It's 14. We should have actually had another touchdown there, but we didn't. So this is a great team. They're undefeated, and they're one of the top teams, if not the top team in the state. So we have our work cut out for us. So let's see how it unfolds. But we have a lot of work ahead. I mean, they're not they're not dead by any means. They're a great team.
What does the offense need to do? Obviously, they put up 0 points when the defense has carried you so far. What changes does the offense need to make in order to pull this game out?
Well, I don't think we have to make too many changes. I think what we're doing is pretty good. We have to make some adjustments on some of their defensive alignments, and hopefully we get the win that we can throw the ball a little bit more. But I'm happy on both sides of the ball, really.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
So we are at the half here at Stadium Field. New Canaan leads Darien 14-0. As we take a look at the Class L playoff picture, New Canaan, we thought they would need a win maybe this morning to get into the state playoffs, but that was wrapped up last night by some of the games played on Wednesday night before Thanksgiving. They are in the Class L playoffs.
Actually, those top 7 teams that you see there, Newington, New Canaan, and Weathersfield have all clinched spots. Massac lost last night on the road to our advisor, Mr. Sobolski's town of Newtown. Undefeated for the second straight year, beat Darien last year in the playoffs, and Newtown gets the win over Massac, which means New Canaan is guaranteed a spot. And if they win here today against Darien, Darien still has a great shot in this one, then they would clinch a home playoff game Tuesday.
Okay, well said, Ian. We're going to go back down onto the field where our Ted Brennan is standing by with one of last year's captains for Darien, Connor Fay.
I'm here with former linebacker from Darien, Connor Fay, back here at the Turkey Bowl. Connor, how special is it for you to come back and watch your team play?
It's great. You know, made a lot of good relationships with the guys in the past. It's good. It's good being back, see everyone you used to play with. You know, it's a special moment for everyone. You know, being a part of it has been an amazing thing. So coming back and, you know, seeing it from a different perspective is special.
Darien's gone off to a slow start. Any tips for them as coming from the sidelines?
No, I remember we'd always have a problem starting off, you know, getting in the rhythm, but, you know, we figure it out, make adjustments. So I got no doubt that the second half's going to come out stronger, and, you know, we shouldn't have a problem.
Connor, thank you so much. Back to you boys in the booth.
Yeah, of course.
We are at the half here as Damian Andrew joined by Matty DeAndrea and Ian Nicholas. New Canaan leads Darien 14-0, and we're going to take a look at the Class L playoff picture as Darien would secure a first-round home game with a win this morning. Darien at 9-0, Simsbury at 9-1, the number 2 team in Class L, and of course a number of FCAC teams. FCAC well represented, Matt DeAndrea, Darien, Greenwich, and Ridgefield well represented in the state playoff picture for Class L.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see what happens there. Darien has a good shot. They need to come back in this game. I mean, they need to focus on this game first, and then they can worry about the playoffs, you know, after this game has been completed.
No question. Damian Andrew, Ian Nicholas, Matt DeAndrea, so glad you could be with us on this Thanksgiving morning. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. We've got a pretty good one here from Stadium Field between Darien and New Canaan Rams. As we mentioned, a lead at the half, 14-0. We are going to take a quick break. We'll be back, and we'll have second half action coming up for you. Jen?
We get lower.
Welcome back. We are at the half. New Canaan leads Darien 14-0. Damian Andrew joined by one of my many bosses on the Darien Athletic Foundation board, a longtime board member, Jen Montanaro. Jen, Turkey Bowl 2019. Turkey Bowl back here at Stadium Field for the first time since 2012. And for those people who are at this game who maybe haven't been here in a while, a lot of changes to the athletic infrastructure here on the Darien High School campus.
Yes, Damien, thanks for having me. Sure has been a lot of changes since 2012. I think about 7 years ago is when the Darien Athletic Foundation, we got started. And as you can see from the stadium field here, a lot has been done to the high school that we at the Darien Athletic Foundation are incredibly proud of.
We're not seeing them in use today because it's a morning football game on Thanksgiving Day, but the LED lights are just tremendous, and they are only a couple years old, and that was a big push by the DAF and the community to get them in.
Yeah, it sure was. Talk about a community effort. I think this effort started probably about 20 years ago with Darien football, and it lost some steam, and we picked it back up a few years ago and thought that, let's put the best that there is out there. And we put together a bunch of community members who really were passionate about getting the lights here. And while it was a struggle in the beginning, I got to tell you, I think everyone is incredibly pleased by the results that we have here.
Absolutely. And also another big deal, big item that has recently is being completed is the running path around Darien High School.
Yes. We joined forces with the town and the school, and we utilized some of the property around outside of the high school as well as some town property, and we put together a cross-country path with the help of some amazing fundraising and some very generous families. And I think this running path exceeded our expectations. It is so incredibly beautiful. It's 1.2 miles, and we couldn't be prouder of it. We're excited for the country to use it.
We're going to take a break here to listen into God Bless America, and we'll be back with more. So that was Darien High School senior Shannon Flaherty, who has such a beautiful voice singing God Bless America here at the half. We are at the half. New Canaan leads Darien 14-0. I am joined by Darien Athletic Foundation board member, longtime board member, Jen Montanaro. And Jen, it's hard to believe, but year 3 of DAF Media, and it's special on these Turkey Bowls and whenever New Canaan plays Darien, because we team up with NCTV, the New Canaan High School production class. The advisor on that is Roman Sobolski, and they do such a tremendous job with their students. So it's nice to kind of bring both students together from both communities in a collaborative effort, as we have a number of views on this Turkey Bowl.
Well, it's funny, Damien, I was watching it from home, getting the turkey in the oven, and we wouldn't be where we are here and with the Darien Athletic Foundation and DAF Media if it wasn't for you. Quite possibly the best decision we have ever made in these past 7 years is getting you on board. And you do such a tremendous job with our students. And if anyone doesn't know what it is that we do, I mean, what they're watching now and what they're hearing is all because of the efforts of, Bruce Ferguson, who's really put us into the next level of just holding a camera. And of course you, Damien, and you being a mentor to these kids. And, we've got 50 students and that are involved, and what a terrific initiative that we have here. And I hope that these kids take this on and do something with it. But I tell you, it's we're really, really proud of them. We're proud of what DAF Media has become. And of course, we're thankful for you, Damien, spearheading this with these kids.
Jen's only saying this because I got her a ticket into this turkey bowl. But no, thank you so much for the kind words. It has been an absolute labor of love doing this the last 2.5 years, and it's hard to believe that we're in doing our second turkey bowl with DAF Media and NCTV. But we are going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with second half action of this Turkey Bowl 2019.
Thanks, Damien.
All right, we are back here at the half of this Turkey Bowl. New Canaan leads Darien 14-0. We are going to go down onto the field. We're going to hold up for just a minute. Ted Brennan is going to have Darien head coach Rob Trefone in just a moment. But we are at the half, and
it's going to be an interesting second half.
I mean, Ted is going to probably ask Coach Trefone what adjustments he plans to make, and there's going to have to be plenty on both sides of the ball. Darien's had some spark plays today, but it's going to be it's interesting. It's anyone's game right now, as we see Jaden Conspor from New Canaan, and for Darien,
Luke Cini.
Luke Cini, one of the great offensive guards there. And the two ADs down there on the field with the interior O-lineman. And right now we are going to send it down to the field. Ted Brennan from DAF Media with Darien head coach Rob Trefone.
The field from the sidelines is still electric. Darien still feels like they're in this game. But what Darien needs to stop committing turnovers. 3 turnovers in the first half alone killed Darien. Although it's 14-0, this game could have been out of hand already. But Darien needs to get back to their roots, get back to playing the football they want, and prove why they are a 9-0 team. Damien, back to you boys in the booth.
All righty. Thanks, Ted. Nice job down there. As we are just about ready for the start of the second half. New Canaan will receive. They deferred. They won the coin toss, and they deferred to the second half, so they get the ball. As we take a look at the program comparison here, our graphics coordinator, Andrew Galwa, doing just tremendous work with these graphics. The 93rd meeting between these two, and the 26th meeting on Thanksgiving Day. New Canaan obviously has won the last 2 state championships. You saw down there, but 2 great programs, New Canaan and Darien. And Dougie Brown ready to kick off to start the second half for Darien. And the ball is taken at the 15-yard line.
It's going to be Zach LaPolice.
So LaPolice brings it out to the 25-yard line, and that is where New Canaan will start the second half.
Darien's defense has had an up-and-down game today. They've generated some turnovers, but they've also been gashed by this run game. As you mentioned at the half, they can't stop a nosebleed. This run game, Drew Pine, Christian Carson, and a little bit of Johnny Wise, it's been terrific. They have to make a stop here, Matt, if they want to get back in this game.
And it starts with that interior part of the Darien Blue Wave's defensive line. anchored by Jackson Walsh, Teddy Christensen, and Graydon Overbeck, they need to make a difference here. They need to start playing lights out and take over this game.
To run up the gut, and it's only going to pick up a gain of 1 or 2. It's John Wise back in the game. He's going to set up 2nd and 8.
New Canaan in the white uniforms, the red helmets. They'll be moving from right to left here in this third quarter. Darien in the black uniforms moving from left to right. And the sun has gone down here. A little overcast right now. It's gotten a tad bit chillier. Wind still a factor. But boy, oh boy, compared to last year's Turkey Bowl in Stamford at Boyle Stadium, this is a balmy day, as we've said. And New Canaan keeps it on the ground.
And
not much doing there.
That's a good adjustment, though, by New Canaan. They saw that Darien came out with 2-3 techniques, playing the outside part of the line of scrimmage, and they just ran the ball inside, picked up a couple yards to make third and manageable.
You mentioned what are the schematic changes, and there it is. They're playing the DNs outside. They want to keep it right in front of them, the run game, that is.
Pine looks far side of the field, and the pass is complete, and that'll be a first down for New Canaan.
That's going to be Christian Sweeney on the quick little RPO hitch. Darien ran this play earlier on in the game, and this time, not the best ball from Pine, but when you're 6'2", you had the length to make that catch. Great adjustment from Sweeney.
Trip receivers out to the left.
Christian Carson now in the backfield to Pine's right.
And a little pitch to Carson. And he is stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Carson hasn't ran a whole lot to the outside this year. That's a new play in the playbook they've brought in. Good play by number 29.
Charlie Silsby. Charlie Silsby, 29 tackles coming into this Turkey Bowl. Has played well in spots for the Wave.
Yeah, he's a player that's really come a long way. I actually coached him when I was the freshman football coach. And to think that now he's a starter on the Blue Wave defense, man, he's come a long way.
Little trickery here. La Police around the left side, but not much there as Darien's defense coming alive in hot pursuit there. Cut off the edge, and La Police is shoved out of bounds.
And that was Silsby again. Again, we said Braden Sweeney, he was keeping contain on Kirby. This time, it's Silsby who does the exact same for Darien. La Police originally, he was able to reset the edge with his great acceleration, but he has to around the 4th or 5th time they've run it today, and Silsby reads it like a book on now a huge 3rd and long.
That's a good adjustment by the Darien coaching staff. That play was gashing them all first half.
Draw to Hayden Shin on 3rd and long, and it goes nowhere. It's getting tackled by numerous Darien interior D linemen.
Led, though, by Teddy Christensen, who's starting to come together and having a good start to the second half.
Guys, I have to tell you, it's very interesting. It's almost as if Mother Nature flipped a switch here because we had sun in the first half, and then coming out to start the second half, it is overcast and dark. Here's Radman. He handles all the kicking duties for New Canaan, and that rolls across the 35-yard line. It'll be downed at about the 32. So Darien's offense comes out onto the field for the first time here in the second half.
That's exactly how you set the tone for your offense to start the second half. You know, New Canaan wasn't trying to risk anything. Keep it on the ground. Don't turn it over. Protect your big lead. But Darien played well against the run, shut it down. And Peter Graham and co., the weather's a little bit cooler, a little bit less wind. They have a chance for some redemption here. They're going to put Kirby to Graham's right.
Kirby takes it, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage. So New Canaan's defensive front doing a nice job there, Ian.
Yes, a lot of young players on this front.
Yeah.
You know, we mentioned the 3-4, Ethan Shallon and Alex Chur, 2 juniors who had gotten really 0 playing time as sophomores last year, but have come in. Shallon, especially an undersized guy, he's gotten a lot bigger, is a great run defender.
And that ball is picked off by New Canaan.
That's going to be Harry Apelt, who just read that one from the get-go, and Peter Graham threw it right to him. We're going to get a second look at that one, of course. What went wrong here? It's actually Dean Ciencio, the senior corner, getting his 2nd interception on the season.
Wow,
There's
what a play.
Ciencio right there, Dean Ciencio. Nice shot of him.
And his older brother, first play, 2017 Turkey Bowl, pick 6 on Peter Graham. And it's like deja vu. The younger brother now, Dean, is able to pick him off in the same exact game 2 years later.
It was a play, Matty, that was very slow in developing, which contributed to the turnover. The handoff to Shin. Shin's going nowhere. So that defensive front for Darien now starting to pick it up here in this second half. Costly turnover, though, as New Canaan has the ball in Darien territory.
Both of these offenses, Damien, as you mentioned, they use a lot of motions, and sometimes it gets a little tricky with timing, especially on plays you don't run as often in practice. And that one, as you mentioned, never really developed to what it should have been.
Under 7 minutes remaining here in the third quarter, 14-0 New Canaan. Pine gives it to Wise. He gets tripped up as he crosses the 35-yard line. The junior Wise, as we take another look at this, gets outside, and that is third down now.
About a 3rd and 9.
Yeah, third and 9, 3rd and 8. Good look at Pine there. He's looking downfield, over the middle, pass is complete. Short of the first down, though. A terrific tackle by James Morrissey.
Here comes New Canaan. They're going to get on the ball, and they're going to run a quick play. I wouldn't be surprised if they just kept it with the quarterback and ran him up inside.
That was Kyle Russell on the catch, the Rams' 3rd leading receiver, a senior.
And
really
when you and I talked on the phone last night, you mentioned Russell. They'll throw him in spots, and a big catch there. He is shy of the first down, but it'll be 4th down, and you know New Canaan will go for it.
Yeah, Russell, 3rd on the team in all major categories. It looks like they're going to get a flag, though. Or not. It looks like they'll just reset it. It's going to be 4th and 1 after the 7-yard grab from the senior receiver, Russell.
So here we go. Big play right here, gentlemen. 4th and 1. La Police in motion, and that'll be a first down as they give it to Wise right up the gut.
Yeah, they've run that play all year long, put Lapo in motion, catch the defense off guard for a second, but they never really give it to him. Wise, physical up the gut, doesn't get easier than that if you execute it, and the Rams did.
Matt, if you're Darien, a great first series on defense, and then they get the ball back, and here we go as Carson has it. Darien gets the ball back, and then the turnover. The turnovers, how often do coaches preach that as we take another look at this Carson run here?
It's turnovers and penalties that will kill you.
Yep.
And that's what Darien has been doing so far. They've been committing penalties. They've been turning the ball over. And I don't like to single anyone out, but we need to see Peter Graham take control of this game and, march on their next series, take control of the huddle and marching down the field. They need to get points on the board, and they need them fast.
There's a look at the Darien sideline.
Like one of their secondary members is a little banged up, tackling Carson on that one. They really can't afford for anyone to go down right now. But an underrated aspect of this game is New Canaan went from the power back, or really the workhorse back, I should say, and Johnny Wise, and now it's a committee backfield. All three of these guys, their snap share is pretty even today. It's been confusing to figure out who's who, but all three of them have remained fresh, and they're all making big-time plays.
Well, you and I had talked about that yesterday when we were prepping for the game, and you said, you know, Wise has kind of been the guy.
Yeah.
But you can see Shin and Carson, and oh, yes, we've seen a lot of Carson and Shin.
Christian's a guy, I talked to him, and this is a guy who didn't play a whole lot in his earlier career here in New Canaan, not a whole lot on the JV teams, carried our sophomore team. But he's a guy who never gave up on a career, always stayed in, physical runner, good player at the youth level. And you look at him today, and he's starring for the Rams in the Turkey Bowl. And look at that shot there, Damien, as you mentioned. It's a completely different monster here.
Great job
Darien.
by our director,
nice shot.
Our technical director, Ted Brennan. I'm sorry, Thomas Kiernan, bringing you that shot there. When we have another break in the action, we will give some shout-outs to our production crew from NCTV and DAF Media. And here's New Canaan on the move, second down. They keep it on the ground again. And Guida shoved out of bounds.
And that's going to be his first touch of the game. Guida, you know, he came in first week of the season. I said, what is Guida going to do for your offense? He said, and Marinelli said, he's going to open it up. And he had a 38-yard touchdown in his first week back. He hasn't run the ball a whole lot this year. They want to keep him healthy, make sure that collarbone doesn't get roughed up any much more. And he's a good change of pace back, really underrated athlete.
14-0 New Canaan, and the Rams on the move here in the third quarter, moving from right to left. They keep it on the ground once again. And it's Carson as he takes it inside the 10-yard line.
Really good block from Ben Clay there. Started the play as the right tackle, has to pull, and he ends up becoming the lead blocker on this one. Both him and right guard Teddy DeClue. And look at the hole that Clay just provides. Running the ball is so much easier when you have a crew of men just running right in front of you. Big 250-pound guy is making your life a heck of a lot easier.
There's Christian Carson right there. Here's Pine, going to keep it himself. Breaks a tackle as Ivanchek had him wrapped up, and Pine surges forward.
Also, big Jackson Walsh was able to get to Pine's legs on that one. That's a good read. Darien just knew a run was coming, so it didn't get a whole lot.
Boy, Jackson Walsh is a run stopper, right? You look run stopper up in the dictionary, and you probably see a picture of Jackson Walsh. And it's first and goal for New Canaan.
Yeah, Jackson Walsh is one of those players that's really come into his own, with Graydon Overbeck making the stop there.
Graydon Overbeck with a big-time stop right here. Nice work by Overbeck as he denies Carson. Second down now for New Canaan.
That's a big tackle for loss on first down.
Yeah, it sets the tone, gives your defense some confidence for a goal line stand. New Canaan goes with that same pulling concept, this time from the left side with Perone and Brady. And timing just wasn't right there. Overbeck got a nice tackle.
Here comes Drew Pine. He's going to run the ball here, if I would have guessed.
And
Pine. And again, Overbeck with a big-time stop.
It looked like Pine wanted to run that ball, but Darien stayed home and made him hand that ball off.
And that was Carson again.
And Pine entered the game as the Rams' second leading rusher.
So it's Overbeck, and
that's how you stop the zone read. You stay home, you play disciplined football, and, you know, you don't try to do too much.
Yeah, just stay physical, stay within your gaps in the interior D-line. Make sure you can keep Pine contained and gang tackle. They bring Maddox Underwood into the formation here. They have a couple of down inline tight ends on this set.
And there's Carson again, and this time he finds the end zone. And New Canaan is up by 3 scores.
And that is his 3rd touchdown of his varsity career. I know that means a lot to Christian Carson, a guy who entered the year as a little bit of an afterthought on the depth chart, but in this game, he's been the flat-out star. They pretty much run the same play 3 times in a row. Again, Ben Clay, Teddy DeClue, and they also bring in number 89 on that one, an extra blocker, a sophomore on that one. They just run 2 tight end set, something you don't see a lot in high school football anymore, but it works to perfection.
And the point after is blocked, so it's 20-0 as we take a look at the New Canaan sideline there for a moment.
Well, here's your consolation for your defense. At least you're able to block the extra point. But, you know, in an era where passing is more prevalent than ever, Matt, how do you feel that, you know, New Canaan's been dominating this game on the ground?
I mean, New Canaan, they had a game plan put together, and they're coming out and executing it. That's the bottom line. New Canaan's executing, and Darien, they're shooting themselves in the foot. They're making mistakes, and, you know, they're turning the ball over. And that's what the score is indicating here. 20-0. Darien has a long road ahead of them to get back in this game.
And also you mentioned, you know, the front 7 is really the most consistent part of this Darien team, but today they've just been gashed back and forth. We're going to look at some of those guys that anchor the front 7s. It's Will Bothwell, who's been really quiet today for Darien, but heading into the game with 11 sacks and 11 tackles for loss. He's had 22 sacks over the last 2 years here at Darien, and Chris Caratu set the Rams single-game record for sacks in a game with 5 earlier this year, 55 tackles and 11 sacks on the year. His first year starting, taking Garrett Braden's number now at Rice. He's been outstanding on the outside.
You know, it's interesting. We haven't called either of their names much this morning. 2 of the big-time players have had great regular seasons, Caratu and Bothwell, as Michael Minikis is helped off the field for Darien. Certainly not what you want to see if you're the Wave.
Pretty sure he blocked the extra point. He might have gotten scuffled up, too, on that one.
New Canaan about ready to kick off, up 3 scores, 20-0. Still a lot of time in this game, but it has been all New Canaan to this point. Under 2 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. And Kirby takes it at the 15. Kirby has all kinds of running room down the far sideline, out of bounds inside the 40. And Will Kirby, as we are going to take another look at that, and we talk about it all the time, special teams can play such a factor in games. And here's Will Kirby as he takes it around the 15 or 20-yard line, and then he busts outside. And he had one man to beat, and that was Radman, and Radman is able to push him out of bounds. So the kicker doing a good job there as Will Kirby with a big-time play, and now Darien will take over at New Canaan's 45-yard line. Trip receivers out wide to the right. Here's Graham on the move, and Caratu, we just brought up his name, and a big-time sack.
He was unblocked. I mean, there's not more you can say about that. You know, they've done a great job of blocking him up today, but you have to put at least a man, if not 2, on Chris Caratu. Great coverage on the back end. You see Drew Guido was clamped up, and 2 underneath defenders as well. Nowhere to go for Peter Graham. And
it's a good job of Darien getting some of the yards they just lost back.
Yeah, that's going to be a catch by Ryan Mulliken on the quick hitch route. Good coverage, though, from Jack Finnegan. Actually, that was Finnegan in coverage and preventing Mulliken from getting anything after the catch.
3rd down here for Darien. Graham looking downfield, has a man open across the middle, and that's a 1st down as number 17.
It's going to be Mulliken again. What a great adjustment over the middle of the field. Not the cleanest ball, but he's a big guy, 6'1". Finds the hole in the zone. Look at that catch.
Yeah, ran a great route. Ran a great route that time, Mulliken.
Doesn't get much better than that adjustment-wise.
Great smile on that graphic, too, right there, huh?
That's probably his reaction after that catch.
6'1", 192 pounds, and a big-time play
And he's a guy who's been heavily involved.
And there was a
there.
penalty on that play, and that tacked on some more yards, Matt DeAndrea, for Darien as they are now operating inside the red zone. Graham.
And this is it. They need to score here. Smart play by
Smart
Jimmy
play.
Graham.
Throws it, was pursued by Caratu. Isn't that funny? We're talking about Caratu, and now the last couple of plays he's been a factor. But Darien now on the move here, second down.
And I want to see Darien really expand their playbook. Hold nothing back. This is the time. I mean, this is the biggest game of the year for both teams. Come out and give it, give them everything.
Here's Graham. Graham over the middle, throwing into traffic, and we've got a flag on the play. This is going to be a big play for Darien. Sean Gifford, the intended receiver.
And it looks like that's going to be on either Drew Guida or Walker Swindell. Both of them were in coverage over the middle. They've hit them a lot over the middle today. They've responded well, but on that one, a little too touchy over the middle of the field. Refs right in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, they were hanging on him, and the yellow flag comes out.
And I also am pretty sure if it is PI, gives them a fresh set of downs on the goal line, which is always nice. But it's going to remain second down.
Second down. Here's Graham throwing. Nearly picked off in the end zone
by Guida.
I would like to see Peter Graham pull that ball and just take it in the end zone himself.
He had a lane. Good reaction to the pressure. And, he doesn't have many rushing yards on the year. Only 46 to his name, but it's the Turkey Bowl. Go all out, as you mentioned. Don't hold anything back. Have the lane. Pull it yourself. Have confidence in your legs. Get your team to score.
Here's Graham, and he throws behind the intended receiver, Jackson Peters.
Jack Finnegan right in his face. Had to throw off the back foot. Timing was just way off.
And Matt DeAndrea, we've had a lot of big plays. This might be the biggest right here for Darien. Fourth down.
That it is. This is the biggest play of the game.
Coach Trefone calls a timeout.
With just 19 seconds left in the third quarter, Damien, this is make it or break it here. If they don't convert, it's going to be tough coming back from a 21-point deficit or 20-point deficit in the fourth quarter.
Tough sledding. While we have a moment, I want to give a shout-out to our entire NCTV and DAF Media production crew. Amelie Lanoff on camera 2 here in the second half. Lucci Savini, Harry Duplac, Thomas Kiernan, our technical director, Savini and Duplac doing a great job as our senior producers. Andrew Galwa, our graphics coordinator, and he does great work. Charlotte Marr on camera 1, and she has been locked down. Davis Depp on camera 2. Fiona Stevens down on the sideline. Emily Fox down on the sidelines. Harry Lee, Davis Depp, Braden Shank. Here we go, fourth down for Darien. Big play here in this game. Graham out of the shotgun, throws into the end zone, and it's nearly picked off, and it's knocked down by number 6.
It's going to be Andrew Morris.
Andrew Morris, the senior. Morris, and Darien denied once again.
I don't know what they were thinking on the play call there. They ran the same kind of slant concept on each of the previous 2 plays. Buchanan was expecting some kind of play over the middle, and Morris was just right there. It's an easy play for the defense. Graham had no choice with the play he was given to just chuck it over the middle of the field. But a big wasted opportunity, as you guys mentioned. That was a critical play for Darien to regain some momentum.
So New Canaan takes over on downs. Here's Pine. And you can believe it's going to be a heavy dose of John Wise.
And great stop by Jackson Walsh there. He's been just a pillar on that defensive line.
Yep.
And that's going to be the end of quarter number 3 here as New Canaan extends their lead by 6.
And that'll be the end of the quarter. New Canaan 20, Darien nothing. We are going to go down on the sidelines where our Austin Platt is standing by.
I'm here with Alex LaPolice, big brother of current player Zach LaPolice, and is currently playing football at Harvard. Alex, I have to ask you, what has impressed you about Zach this year, obviously playing as a #1 receiver in this offense? What impressed you about your little brother?
He's been great. It's awesome to see him come to his own. He's really worked his tail off, and I'm just so happy for him and so proud of him. I couldn't say more about his performance and how hard he's worked to get there.
And now, obviously, you're playing at Harvard. What is it like being at one of the most prestigious universities in all of the land?
I'm a very fortunate guy. You know, I worked really hard, got really lucky, surrounded by a bunch of unbelievable people, and put me in a great situation. And it's been fantastic, and super lucky to be there, like I said.
Thank you, Alex. We will send it back now up to the guys in the booth to get ready for the fourth quarter with the Rams up 20-0.
It is always great seeing Alex LaPolice and having quite a career up there at Harvard. And we are just about ready to start the fourth quarter as Darien trails New Canaan 20-0 on this Turkey Bowl 2019. Damian Andrew, Ian Nicholas, and Maddie DeAndrea joining you for this Turkey Bowl. And we are just about ready here.
So I worked at private equity firm last summer.
Fourth quarter's underway.
Darien needs a big-time play here, some kind of momentum swinger, because they can't let New Canaan go down the field again and just run the ball.
Well, it's 3rd and long. Let's see. I want to see Darien here defensively. I wouldn't be surprised if they brought pressure up the middle and made Pine get rid of the ball early.
Pine's also great scrambling outside the pocket as well, so they want to make sure they can contain the return.
Well, that's the key. The defensive end, they have to keep him in the pocket and let the interior guys, get some pressure inside and make him deliver a ball, off his back foot or.
And the Rams are going to go conservative, make sure not to make a mistake close to their own end zone, just to give up the gut on 3rd down. Only a yard on that one.
So New Canaan's punt team will come out onto the field. Nick Radman, he handles all the kicking duties for head coach Lou Marinelli.
He does, yes. The junior, no more Big Jack Conley and punter for the Rams.
No.
But Radman's a really great player. Never a soccer player, as you assume a lot of kickers are in high school. Just wanted to kick. Dad cut him kicking lessons. And the junior's been spectacular, both handling kicking duties the last 2 years and punting duties this year for the Rams.
And that is nearly blocked. As Sam Wilson coming off the edge nearly blocks it. It's fielded at around the 45-yard line. And Sean
really great
Gifford.
coverage on the punt there.
And that's a great punt as well. Punting out of his own end zone to get it to the 50-yard line. Granted, he was kicking with the wind, which might have helped him just a tad, but really just a good play by the punter.
Around the FCAC, other scores going, or other games being played, I should say, on Thanksgiving Day. These schools having their own turkey bowls. Ward, big on Ludlow, and Norwalk over McMahon, and St. Joe's so impressive this season, up 28-7 on Trumbull. Last we checked, here's Graham throwing downfield, near sideline, trying to get it to Gifford, but it's incomplete as Guida was there on the coverage.
Not a bad ball, but Guida is just there step for step. He played strong safety last year. He was a ball hawk, but this year with the lack of depth at corner, Coach Marinelli and crew asked, the very versatile Swiss Army knife to play corner. Really good, clean coverage there. And here's Graham looking to the outside, and he will connect with Mulliken, who's run out of bounds by Dean Ciencio and Braden Sweeney after a pickup of about 9.
So Mulliken, the catch there. I want to give a shout out to Ellen Ferguson, who is a Darien High School graduate studying abroad, and wish her a happy Thanksgiving. I know she is one of the many people tuning in to this live stream broadcast of the 2019 Turkey Bowl between Darien and New Canaan. And the pass is complete to Jackson Peters. Flag on the field. He takes it inside the 20-yard line. We'll see what the call is here, Maddie DeAndrea.
Well, it looks like Alex Chur is waving for a hold, the nose tackle for New Canaan. So that one happened before the Jackson Peters catch. That's huge because that means that catch is going to be wiped off the board.
Yeah, and Darien, that's what they need to do going forward. Just get the ball in the hands of your playmakers and let them do the rest.
Yeah, we talked a lot about Jackson Peters at the outset of this game, and he is capable of breaking one anytime he touches the football.
Made some splash plays early, but he's been quiet ever since.
Here's Graham, flag down, and nearly picked off.
Illegal motion there.
That'll be motion on Darien.
It's a shame because they were really starting to put together a little bit of something. Just got that first down with Peters, then you get the hold. If then you just make a simple mistake, you run these practices week in and week out, you know how you line up pre-snap. That should not happen in a game like this. It's going to be declined.
Damel was the intended receiver there. So
and this is where you come back to Jackson Peters. Get him the ball. Let him do the rest.
Yeah.
Looks like he's on one-on-one coverage to the bottom of your screen with Dean Ciencio. Could be open.
Graham going up top. Far side of the field, and the pass is broken up.
It's going to be Zach LaPolice on the coverage. Both guys just ran right into each other, and both of them a bit shaken up. LaPolice is okay. Let's go to those around the FCX scores, Damian.
Here is Greenwich big over Staples, Wilton big over Trinity, and Harding leads Bridgeport Central. These games all being played today on Thanksgiving Day 2019. Nice job by our graphics coordinator, Andrew Galwa, who has done just a terrific job with the graphics this morning. And we're going to take a look here. We mentioned two legends squaring off this morning. Head coach Lou Marinelli, the longtime head coach of the New Canaan Rams and the longtime head coach of the Darien Blue Wave. He has turned the program around, Rob Trefone. And that's total seasons as a high school head coach. Trefone was at Brian McMahon before coming to Darien. FCAC championships, state championships. Coach Marinelli with 12. Trefone with 6 FCAC titles. And career record. How about this? Coach Trefone, by the way, he trails Coach Marinelli in career wins, but he picked up his 250th win this season, and certainly a nice addition to his already Hall of Fame resume. Rob Trefone, a 2019 Connecticut High School Coaches Association Hall of Famer.
Yeah, talking to Coach Marinelli yesterday, he said Coach Trefone is the most prepared coach he's played. He just knows what he's doing. And also, you're probably wondering why Coach Marinelli is here 39 years. It's a crazy number. He's been here since the mid-'80s. And I asked him, what keeps you going? And he talked specifically, at halftime they honored Jaden Constable. He said he coaches for players like those. The guys that, you can coach those star Drew Pines, those talents, but he coaches for the players that you see a little spark and you can turn them into something. He credited his assistant coaching staff and the Darien there, New Canaan. These are two of the best teams in the state at developing talent and turning players with a little talent into stars.
Okay, 9:27 left. Well said, Ian. 9:27 left, 20-0 New Canaan. And here's Pine out of the shotgun. They give it to Wise, and he picks up about a yard. Getting back to these coaches, I talked to both of them before this game. I've known them both for well over a decade, and they are both terrific coaches. You mentioned how Coach Marinelli likes to get in there and tweak that offensive line and work with the offensive line. Both great guys, both Hall of Fame coaches, and unfortunately for one of them, they're going to leave a little bit more disappointed than the other this morning.
2nd and 8 after the 2-yard run from Wise.
And they give it to LaPolice. LaPolice around the left side.
Picks up a couple. Big third down here. They've run that play a lot for Zach LaPolice today, just for jet sweep handoff. They usually only run it once, maybe twice a game, but today they're just looking to use it as a simple run play to gain some momentum. And it's going to be 3rd and about 8. They need to get it up to the 48-yard line if they want to keep the drive alive. In the second half, though, they've really kept it conservative. After taking some shots early on in the game, they're just relying on the run game. It got them that Christian Carson touchdown earlier in the 3rd quarter. And they're just looking to keep the ball in their possession. Smart move from New Canaan. Don't risk it. Keep draining clock. Keep your 3-possession lead.
And that's what 39 years of experience will do.
Yep.
Lou Marinelli, he's no rookie here.
No, absolutely. We said we'd see Wise. As I say that, of course, Pine looking downfield. He is brought down. Ivanchik. You know, Matty DeAndrea, we were talking about Ivanchik. David, the latest in a long line of Ivanchik brothers. All of them have had standout careers here, and he is only a sophomore. He might be the best of them all when it's said and done.
Yeah, it's wild to think about. He's a young, emerging star. Coming off the edge, he's been able to get in the backfield constantly throughout the course of this game, and he's had a big impact so far.
Yeah, Ned Brady's had an up-and-down game up against him. He's done a pretty good job of containing him outside of a few pressures. And that sack, obviously. But we haven't even talked about Will Bothwell today, the guy who has also 11 sacks, and that punt almost blocked again.
That's nearly blocked.
It's a good
Minikis.
job. Good job, though, getting that punt off. Seeing pressure in your face. A lot of punters would have shied away from kicking that ball, but he stood in there, and he delivered a strike.
So Darien will take over here. The ball is spotted at the 35-yard line. Darien's own 35-yard line. Darien, Ian, up against not only New Canaan now in these final 7 minutes and 30 seconds, but the clock becoming a factor.
Definitely. I was just looking, I was staring at the clock, and it's a 3-possession game. And this team has had the chunk plays today. Hopefully they get another right here.
There's Graham looking for Mulliken. Pass broken up by Guida. Guida's played a nice game this afternoon for New Canaan.
You know, the numbers, he's had a couple of breakups. If they don't have him in this game, it could be a completely different game. It's an inexperienced Rams secondary, and without Guida, he's really just the glue that holds everyone together, a leader. I can't tell you how deflated the coaches were when he went down with the injury earlier this year. Everyone loves Drew, and when he went down, it was just like it was so many injuries at the beginning of the year for this team. That's the reason they got off to a slow 2-2 start. But Guida was the one where you looked at it. That's not just a leader, but that's everyone loves and respects here in New Canaan. And when he's back, it's a completely different defense.
There's Graham checking his wristband. Out of the shotgun, looking downfield.
Plenty of time.
And Peters comes back for it, and he makes the catch at the 50-yard line. Nice play, nice route run by Jackson Peters.
And a good catch, too. He nearly dropped that one for a second, but he's able to secure it with those big 6'2" frame and that hand of his. He's a really good route runner. We haven't mentioned that today. He just finds ways to get open.
Nice job by our sideline camera operator, Emily Fox, bringing you that instant replay. And they try to get it to Peters again, incomplete. And Matt, let's face it, would take a monumental comeback right now. 7 minutes left, down 3 scores.
It's not quite over yet. Darien needs to score fast, though, to have a chance.
Need to score fast. It's second down here. New Canaan's going to run the ball. Darien's going to pass the ball from here on out.
Yep.
It's surprising, though. Darien hasn't come out. They haven't run any sort of trick plays. And they're running the same play over and over again. I would like to see them come out and take a shot downfield, do something creative, and just try to get the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, when you see the plays New Canaan got beat on earlier this year against St. Joe's and against Richfield, they weren't necessarily trick plays, but a great catch.
Nice
from
catch. Jackson Peters across the 30, across the 25. And again, as Matt DeAndrea just said, Darien needs to strike quickly.
Yeah, they're not going to go huddle here, obviously. They got to move. You have to have multiple guys on Jackson Peters this late in the game. No question.
Here's Graham now, looking downfield, far sideline, throws pass incomplete as he was looking for Mulliken. And that wind starting to pick up here.
Oh, that's not going to – it's like the wind is like died down at the right times for New Canaan, and when Peter Graham hits the field, it's like the wind is against him. He's had a tough sled today. He's made some solid throws through a lot of wind.
And you can see the flag
almost
blowing there. And back to the action, and the ball is picked off by Drew Guida as Graham was looking far sideline, and Guida steps in and picks it off. And again, another big turnover.
That happened just so quickly. That was a solid ball. It was just Drew Guida all over it. You know, that's what happens when you're a veteran. Just jumps it and comes out of absolutely nowhere to make that play.
There's a look at Drew Guida, 6'4", 220.
And that just comes from watching film. He was clearly prepared for that play.
Yes.
Just waiting on it. Right when Peter Graham got rid of that ball, he made a nice undercut and picked the ball off.
Give up the gut. It's going to be Christian Carson. He's had a fantastic game, including a touchdown. He gets this one up to the 30 for a gain of about 5. Yeah, I mean, he's a guy, he can play both corner and he can play safety. A veteran leader, had 6 picks last year. That's number 1 on an injury-shortened season this year. And it's probably going to put the icing on the cake here with just under 6 minutes left in this one. It's going to be 2nd and 3 after a 7-yard Christian Carson run, who's emerged as a surprising workhorse for the Rams run game this morning. We're going to go trips right to the bottom of the screen. Can't get Darien with the hard count. Now, Darien, they've been plagued by the occasional penalty today. It's really set them back and killed a lot of their momentum, Matt.
Yeah, and big shout out to the Canaan defensive coordinator. He scripted up a great game plan, and it's not common that Darien doesn't get, any points.
Yes.
I mean, held to a shutout today, that's very shocking to me.
I mean, it hasn't been a bend not break game. I mean, there have been the moments. Peters has had big plays. They've had big shots down the field. It's just Coach Chris Silvestri. He was a former running back. He was a former top player in the state back in the late 90s. He knows how offensive players work. And now he's a defensive coordinator. Coach Marinelli told me he loves to dial up those crazy blitzes. And as you've mentioned multiple times today, Matt, they've worked really every time.
Chris Silvestri, one of the great assistant coaches in certainly southwestern Connecticut, if not the entire state. Great fella. Had a game plan coming into this one that has worked very well, as Darien's offense has had its moments, but just have not been able to put anything up on the scoreboard. And with under 5 minutes remaining, it is 20-0 New Canaan. Of course, years and years and years ago when this rivalry first started, they weren't known as the Rams. They were the black and red. And red and black. And Carson rumbles his way for a couple of yards.
I love the reaction from Drew Pine. It only picks up 1 or 2 yards, and he's like extremely disappointed, down 20-0, like he's clapping his hands and wishing that one for a bigger gain. That shows you the kind of competitor Drew is. The game might pretty much be over score-wise, but you got to practice. You got to get better every single play. You can never take a play off. He knows that. He's been a starter for 4 years. And to show how dedicated he is and how tough he's played in this game really shows you the kind of guy Notre Dame is getting next year. Competitor-wise, that is. Just under 4 minutes left in this one. They're going to line up in the I formation with Johnny Wise directly behind Drew Pine of a shotgun.
And here's Wise again across the 45-yard line.
And he's going to get just enough for a first. Johnny's had a couple of solid runs up the gut today, but But Darien D-line really has no answer. An uncharacteristically rough game for this front seven. Sam Wilson had that big pick earlier, but we haven't called his name a lot. You know, it's just been great blocking at the second level, Matt.
Yeah, Darien just couldn't stop the run, and it was just gashing them, hurting them all game long. If you can't stop the run, it's going to be a tough go trying to stop, the pass as well.
I mean, New Canaan hasn't even needed to rely on the passing game today. Outside of that big play to Christian Sweeney early, they've just stuck to their running game plan.
And why wouldn't you? It's working.
And New Canaan continues to run the football. I want to give a quick shout out to a friend of mine, David Genovese, and his family watching this live stream, doing a terrific job tuning in. So many people tuning in to this one. And we are thrilled to be able to bring it to you from Stadium Field. First time the Turkey Bowl being played here since 2012. Damian Andrew alongside Ian Nicholas and Matt DeAndrea. And it's been a lot of fun being able to bring this game to you. Sold out crowd here at Darien High School. And want to give a shout out to the athletic directors of Darien and New Canaan. Darien's Chris Manfredonia, his assistant Kyle McDonald, and of course New Canaan's longtime athletic director Jay Egan. All three of those gentlemen do a terrific job running their respective programs. Takes a lot to put on a game like this between ticket sales and passes and logistics and parking. Not easy to do, and they have done a great job in getting it done as the New Canaan student body starting to celebrate a little bit here. Under 2 minutes left. New Canaan is going to win its third straight Turkey Bowl. And there's Carson.
Getting that final first down on third down. Drew Pine, fists in the air, celebrating, as that's going to be the icing on the cake. Talk about a career game for Christian Carson, though.
Christian Carson, we talked about him at the outset. You and I talked about him off camera yesterday, and he has really stepped up. Just a junior. That backfield is coming back.
All three of them.
All three of them are coming back.
Shin as well.
So some skilled players on this New Canaan sideline and in this game who will be back next year for head coach Lou Marinelli. And the red and black is going to win this Turkey Bowl. We are winding down here, 20-0, New Canaan. And certainly, Matt, if you're Darien, a disappointing taste in your mouth. Darien has had a lot of success in recent years in this game.
Right, but the season's not over for Darien. They still have the playoffs.
Absolutely.
You go back in, you watch the film, you make adjustments.
You make the corrections. Yep.
Exactly. You get a couple of the key takeaways. They had some success throughout the course of this game. So going forward, they still have games to play. The season's not over, and this game might have not turned out the way they wanted, but again, it's not over yet.
Well said, and both of these teams will continue on after today. Both will be headed to the state playoffs, as Ian and I talked about beforehand. New Canaan clinched with the way things happened last night. The two coaches will meet at midfield, hugs, and New Canaan, their student body, rushes the field, and that is quite a scene right there as the New Canaan Rams will win the Turkey Bowl 20-0 over Darien, and an impressive performance by the entire Rams team, from the coaching staff to the offense and to that defense. As we mentioned, Chris Silvestri, the longtime New Canaan defensive coordinator, dialed up a game plan, and it worked to perfection.
You also have to give credit to offensive coordinator Dan Farina. He was not expected to be the OC heading into the year, a couple of turnovers at the position, and he did an excellent job just sticking to the run game, never wavering. As you mentioned, Matt, earlier on, they just relied right on that run game throughout, and it worked to perfection. And, talking to Coach Marinelli yesterday, he openly admitted this team, compared to last year, had 4 D1 players. not as talented as last year's team, but he was almost not emotional when I interviewed him, but you could tell he cares so much about this kind of squad that they've assembled, starting 2-2 and getting this kind of win, a statement win, heading into the playoffs. They're going to be able to host a playoff game. I asked him, how important is it for you to get these players the win and get this kind of team, you know, they're close. This team, he said he's never seen a team like this before come this close together, the way they dealt with adversity. So this kind of game, it means so much to the players, and it means so much that they're going to be able to play back on Dunning one last time on Tuesday for a playoff game.
Yeah, they do get a home playoff game. Darien will also get a home playoff game despite the loss on Tuesday. But Matt, obviously, as we mentioned, New Canaan came in here hyped up, ready to go, and Darien didn't have any answers.
Yeah, New Canaan came out hot, Darien came out flat, and we saw that through the course of the game. Darien, they came out, they tried to make adjustments at half. New Canaan, they were better prepared, and that's what showed.
And we are going to go down on the sidelines now to our Ted Brennan, who is standing by. Ted, what do you got for us?
Canaan team.
It's a big win for the Rams. It's now 6 in a row. They needed all of these wins. They needed these 6 wins after starting a slow start of 2-2 in order to make it to the playoffs. They actually clinched it last night with a Newtown win, but they ensure that with this win, they will host a game on Tuesday in the quarterfinals. It's the 3rd year in a row that they've done this. They've beaten the Darien Blue Wave, and it's even bigger because it was on the road, a true road game this year. What about the Wave?
As for the Wave, they'll fall in 9-1. Today they just couldn't get their offense going, and they couldn't necessarily stop the run. Drew Pine did a number of running plays that went for 3, 4, even 20 yards gains, and they just couldn't stop it, and that was where Darien's defense kind of fell off. As for the offense, missing routine plays that they had made all season, and Darien falls to 9-1. Back to you guys in the booth.
Thanks, Ted. And Austin Platt did a great job on the sidelines this afternoon. And again, I want to give a shout out to our entire production crew. Again, all student volunteers behind the scenes bringing you the sights and sounds of this Turkey Bowl. Amelie Lanoff, Luci Savini, Harvey Duplac, Thomas Kiernan was our technical director. Savini and Duplac, our senior producers, did a terrific job steering the ship. Andrew Galwa, our graphics coordinator. Charlotte Marr, Davis Depp on camera. Fiona Stevens on camera. Emily Fox on camera. Harry Lee on camera. Braden Schenk, our instant replay coordinator, did a great job. There's a nice sideline shot right there of the New Canaan players with some of their classmates, the student body on the field. And we are going to take a look at some of the highlights from this game. Again, the bad snap early on, and that led to a New Canaan touchdown there as Pine finds Christian Sweeney. And here's the interception on the near sideline.
By the twin brother, Braden.
By Braden Sweeney,
really
Christian's twin brother. And here's Pine up the middle, touchdown. And here's the Sam Wilson interception. And then he, on offense, broke off some big yardage on the very next play. And there's Carson getting into the end zone. And here's the 4th down stop here by New Canaan's defense as Darien looked like it was going to get into the end zone for the first time all Turkey Bowl. So that is the scene on the field as the New Canaan players celebrating. We are going to have in just a few moments an interview with New Canaan head coach Lou Marinelli. Big win. Thanksgiving dinner will taste a little bit better if you're Coach Marinelli. And Coach Marinelli is with our senior producer, Harvey Duplac, who is bringing him over to our Austin Platt, who will talk to Coach Marinelli.
And he's taking a picture of the scoreboard, too.
Darien,
be a great game
or New Canaan, beating Darien today, shutting him out 20-0. And Coach Marinelli is just about ready to talk with our Austin Platt. And let's send it down to the sideline where Austin is standing by with Coach Marinelli.
A great job, and they've improved every week, and they keep on getting better. So they saved it for for this. Thank God.
3 years in a row, you have beaten Darien in the Turkey Bowl. How does this one compare to the other two?
This one's special. This one's special, especially with the beginning of the year that we had, with all the injuries and everything they had to overcome. I thought it was just a tremendous victory for our kids.
And Coach, with this win, you ensure that you will have a home game on Tuesday. What does it mean for the seniors that you go out and get to play on Dunning one more time?
I hope that's true. I don't know whether that's official yet, but I know this, that these kids have worked hard and they deserve it. I'm so happy for our senior class.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you so much, Austin Platt. Austin Platt, Ted Brennan doing a great job this morning. Turkey Bowl 2019 is in the books, and the new Canaan Rams shut out Darien 20-0. So for Matt DeAndrea and Ian Nicholas and our entire production crew who did a great job, our NCTV advisor Roman Sobolski, Bruce Ferguson with DAF Media, I am Damian Andrew. Once again, New Canaan beats Darien here at Stadium Field 20-0. We want to thank you for watching this live stream broadcast, a collaborative broadcast between NCTV and DAF Media. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Take care.
Hey, great job getting that over.
Congratulations to the Rams.
Great job. That was great.
Did you see Lou took a photo of the scoreboard?
Yeah. Oh, Lou will be happy. Great the game Tuesday. Let's go. Double reverse. Let's go. No, screen pass.
It's crazy.
Good job. Thank you. Give the bird football now. Anyway.